So I mean,
and
it's
10 years is a very
understandable.
long time.
Yeah.
There's a chance that you could go there and most of the staff there may not even have been around by that time.
That's true. That's true. Anyway, so that story is on the front page of the Republic Press this morning. And Sophia Kufu walks away from Council of State, and comes with a picture of what was her portfolio? She was former CJ. Yes. So she's, and I understand her resignation was sometime last year.
But the president refused to accept it, and so he asked the Council of State to really find out her reasons. And so after further interrogations, she still refused to give her
no reasons given.
Then the president accepted
her
resignation.
I see.
I thought it even had to do with the fact that she was going to be the queen mother.
Oh, okay, that is also there.
No, I thought when I heard of this story,
but
clearly it was for me. I mean, if I can hazard a guess, it has to do with
no. You would want to hold your gun there. We'll get into the details of it. Let's get into the details of it later on. But the flooding situation is not leaving anytime soon, because Accra floods. We are hearing that 3 dead bodies have been recovered from the Klagon,
possibly,
and then so details of that story.
I'm 16 is in the house. And she says today, play her, I am 16 years. I go tea like this. If you touch Martino, I go to Mama.
She's a superstar. Charles, wrap up for me.
You look good. I like the blazer.
For me, it's not about the dress. It's about the. You see the insignia on her dress.
No, I didn't touch it. Oh, but is there any rule to that?
Yes, is it?
Charles, wrap up for me.
Anyway, so Kwame, the flash story is there. Multiple injured as container truck crashes into fuel tanker taxi at Konongo. Details of that story is on page 6. Former Foreign Affairs Minister and ex-ECOWAS Commission President James Victor Gbehu dies at 90. Oh, Victor Gbehu.
Yes.
91 years.
I
mean 90. To even hate 90.
So the Daily Democrat, nothing but the truth. We have the biggest story on the front page says government maintains cocoa producer price despite global market decline. GLOA confirms the market dominance of KGL, urges stakeholders not to compare GLOA's 49.9 million to KGSL. That's a mouthful. Come on, that's a long headline.
Oh, you miss your days right today.
Yes. Matilda Hinawa Berkoran announces bid for Ibuakwa South NPP Women Organizer. Now tension at Isiakwa as chief's legitimacy challenged. And Angela List elected first vice president of Ghana Chamber of Mines. So I don't know whether Elizabeth has some more for us.
Liz, do you have any before we look at the Class FM online portal?
I have the Ghanaian Point, accurate, firm and reliable. On the front page, KGL Foundation transforms Ghana Psychiatric Hospital OPD into modern mental health facility. You get a full story on page 3. Then Accra flooding requires investment and attitudinal change. Patrick Boama has the picture of the Member of Parliament for Kankwe Central, Patrick Yabuama here. Then missing UCC student found dead on beach as police launch investigation. Government to establish auditors court to tackle audit infractions. That's according to the Minister for Finance, Dr. Case Latoforsen. The full story is on page 2 of the Ghanaian Point. Then to the last one here is use diplomacy, not press releases to get Partey into Canada, as for a J here. Then to the business analyst, Kasaprekus, GSE listing reflects growing confidence in Ghana's economy. MPRA CEO has the picture of Chris Wedi-Mensah, who is the CEO of MPRA here. Then Cocoa Board CEO urges greater unity in Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire, cocoa reliance. In Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire urged to align cocoa pricing regime. It has the picture of the Finance Minister, Dr. Case Latoforsen. The Deputy EC Chair, Bosman Asari, resigns. His picture is also here. Then pension assets hit 120 billion Ghana cedis as NPRA pushes private sector investment. Kwame, that's all.
Okay, so let me quickly do some stories on the Class FM online portal, and then we'll get into the details. EC Deputy Chair Bosman Asari resigns. Tete retires as well. Registrar of Companies and CID Director General strengthening strategic partnership to combat an issue or two there with corporate fraud. That's also here. In the Ghana South, newly installed chiefs urged to uphold integrity as Obakrowa celebrates Ahumba Festival. as well. Chairman Wontumi appoints Samuel Atache as new lead defense counsel. Ghana Maritime Authority commissions safety water guards, launches live jacket initiative. 10 UCC marks 30th anniversary, encourages student leadership and national development. Government begins process to replace Sophia Akufu on Council of State. And President Mahama has not increased salaries of presidential staff, according to Felix Kwachi Fosu. Over 90% of road contracts awarded through competitive tendering, not sole sourcing. But I thought a couple of weeks ago, the figures that were out suggested it wasn't anywhere close to 90%. So maybe the Honorable Felix Kwachi Fosu has something new concerning this. Cocoa Board CEO calls for greater trust and unity in Ghana Cote d'Ivoire cocoa partnership. Here as well. Police arrest suspect in murder of UCC students. There was a very sad video of a young student all over social media in the last few days. Achia explains decision to represent Chairman Wontumi also here. And Ghana Water Limited warns of threat to Kumasi water supply amid forest loss at Barakesi. There are some stories in the world of business, that in the world of showbiz, and that in the world of sports as well. This story has been all over the place since yesterday. South African jazz legend Abdullah Ibrahim dying at 91, and I've seen lovers of jazz share his stories loads on various social media platforms. There's also this very sad story concerning Nigerian writer Chimamanda Adichie accusing a hospital of stalling review into San's death. She lost one of her twins a couple of months ago, and that story has been back and forth. She's been calling for a lot of things, but according to her, the hospital is stalling a review into the son's death. December visitor numbers rise as Ghana records over 1.3 million tourists in 2025. There are quite a number of stories here concerning the FIFA World Cup. Ghana is going to be in action against Panama in Toronto later on Wednesday. We wish the team.
I like the way you pronounced it.
You say it, I say Toronto.
Toronto.
Don't mind those Americans.
Toronto.
Don't mind those Americans.
Toronto, they're not local.
The British will tell Toronto. They will not tell Toronto. What is
Toronto? Yeah, Toronto.
Yes. Yesterday, my little boy told me, so constantly he was telling me he was angry, and I wasn't paying attention to him. At a point in time, Daddy, I told you I'm pretty hungry. I'm like, pretty hungry now, Kano.
Yes.
You are telling me I'm pretty hungry.
Oko International School. That's right. Yeah.
Anyway,
he doesn't attend Tema early.
Oh, Kwame, it is the age.
No.
Early.
Oh, what are you talking about?
It is the age. No, wait.
Before,
wait. Rich, don't get me wrong. Rich, don't get me wrong. I've not made any statement, Rich.
How can you debate some of us?
Oh, no. I am a typical DA.
You know Padmore, you know Matedi.
Oninku, Pidase, Akojo. We know all those. We are a typical. I'm talking about.
We went there.
Me.
Lizzie went to Sakumara International.
Oh, no, Lizzie went to Montessori.
Montessori. Okay, that's good.
In those days, there was a very big school there. It's called Holy Child.
Holy Child. At Sakumano?
Yeah, on the stretch to Fridays.
Okay.
I don't know if it's still there.
It's still there.
But that's why it's good.
But
time.
it's all over here,
No,
Yeah,
please,
but
I went to Sakumono School Complex. Please.
That's another DB school.
So
it's a DB school. It's a DB school.
Yeah.
I think Sakumono has a lot of,
To even live in Sakumano.
In those days, it's not like today.
No. Oh, Rich. No, Rich. I went to DA.
No, but
I went to DA.
this day and age.
No, I'm saying I didn't make any statement.
The thing is, those kind
I
of
didn't make any
schools
statement.
appear to have disappeared from Accra. Out of Accra, you may find
I didn't make
them.
any statement.
But in Accra,
Yeah.
I don't see them anymore. I
The LAs and then
along
the
lines
MAs.
of-
That's what I was
because
saying.
it was Lebi and Shani.
Yes.
Lebi and Shani.
Day and night.
Morning and afternoon. So you go to school in the morning, you close, and then some will come in the afternoon. So morning is Lebi,
So
and then
it's
Shani is
different from
afternoon.
the one we are experiencing with the senior high school.
Oh, that's completely different.
That was
Yeah.
basic school.
Yeah, this is like basic school, like
You go to
lower
school,
level cry.
Yeah, lower level cry. From
not senior high
class
school
1 to
level.
class 6.
Yeah. So you close like 12.
Yes.
And then another set will
often
come from
it's 11:30.
11:30, 12 thereabouts.
Then you come back 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
That is when you go back. You go to the farm, go and pick some farm produce, cook and eat.
And come back again.
Yes.
Or a different
Sometimes
batch.
you come back, or sometimes a different batch will come in, depending on the arrangement in the school.
You are the one who's supposed to come back. There wasn't.
Okay, in my area, it was one group leaving and another group coming
You all
in.
went to some of the best. If you grew up in the Gomo area at the time in the 70s, and the Jumako area in the 70s.
Yeah, during our time.
We go to school, close at 11:30.
Go and farm.
Go back home. No, so you have to cook and eat.
And then you come back to school again.
And if
you were not going to school with a lunchbox.
No, lunchbox. In this day and age, I mean, those days.
Kwame, lunchbox. For where?
Bro.
The lunchbox is in the farm. You go to the farm, pick some food, come and cook. Within 1.5 hours, you have to eat and woe betide you if you don't come to school. The headmaster will lead your class teacher
to your house.
6 o'clock. And the one school.
Yeah.
They'll give you strokes.
Yeah.
Cool
Kwame,
strokes.
and you see?
Oh yes.
Rich, you know what this is bringing to mind, yeah? So we learning of these rampage, so to speak, by students of Boku Senior High School. Those were the days where discipline was a thing.
Oh yes.
Because as a child, if say your daddy is rich, you belong to the community.
Yes.
You belong to every
Exactly.
teacher in the school. You belong to the headmaster, the headmistress. They have right over
We
you
lived
in
in
any way.
communities where everyone knew each other.
Yeah.
So, for example, if your child is playing the fool,
Yes.
it doesn't have to be my father.
No.
disciplining me or my mom.
And you know
Any parent in the community was a father or a mother.
Now-
Exactly.
And they will give it to you properly.
Exactly.
Now after disciplining you,
Your parents will come and top up.
the evening they'll come. I saw Kwame doing this. And I gave it. Oh, you there. Your father too will give you. So
Let me tell you.
Today
Let
you
me
can't
tell
kill
you
them.
about Let me tell you about one of my Kubolo escapades in the past.
oh okay.
To let you know that
it's written
to let you to let you know that I'm a typical local boy, so to speak. So when I was talking about in this day and age, what I meant was that in this day and age, the LAs, the MAs, you don't find them like those days. Now the private schools, the Montessoris, and all of those
they are
schools
fairly modernized,
are springing
really.
up more.
Yeah.
Every corner they are there.
No, but we are still around.
Yeah,
We are still around.
we hope so.
And one classroom block, then they call him Montessori.
Charlie,
I don't understand.
Kwame.
Anyway, let's move on into the stories.
Right.
Yesterday
I mean,
there was a lot to report. So
Yeah.
let's cross
Maybe
over
we
in.
start
Try
with
to
the
do
Daily
as many as
Graphic.
possible. Yeah.
We start with the Daily Graphic this morning, and the big story on the front page of the Daily Graphic says that no wrongdoing in big push contracts, and that's according to reports. Well, so that's a Daily Graphic. It looks like they had some exclusive, insight into the whole thing before even Felix Fusu-Kwakye mounted the podium to address the press. And it says President orders tougher single sourcing rules. And the story by Kester Abraham Kranche says that a high-level presidential investigation into the award of contracts under the Big Push Infrastructure Initiative has found that the Ministry of Roads and Highways did not breach any procurement rules, and that's according to the Daily Graphic, which it says it can exclusively report. So, however, President John Dramani Mahama has accepted 4 sweeping reforms to strengthen Ghana's public procurement framework. The probe, ordered by the President in April and conducted by Senior Presidential Advisor Dr. Valerie Esther Sawyer, found that the ministry acted strictly within the Public Procurement Act and obtained all requisite approvals, and it also revealed that single-sourced big push contracts represent barely 4.58% of all road contract awards by the ministry. So, Kwame, you recall that a few weeks ago, or maybe a month plus, the Fourth Estate did a story where they said quite a number, I've forgotten the figure, quite a number of the contracts, awarded under government's big push agenda were breached the procurement processes. We spoke with, I've forgotten his name, but he was a rep with the Fourth Estate right here when the Roads and Highways Ministry came to rubbish that statement, and they also had to come back again at government. And so there was an investigation that was conducted into the whole deal. And here we are today. Government is saying that there were no breaches of procurement processes, and that's according to Felix Fusu-Kwakye. And yesterday we saw that briefing by him, even after this inside exclusive report that Daily Graphic is reporting to have had access to. Yesterday, there was a briefing from Felix Fusu-Kwakye to that regard, that the contracts as we have it now, a number of them were actually subjected or all of them, so to speak, were subjected to the right procurement processes. So at this point in time, government is saying that there were no breaches in that regard. We'll be speaking to a rep from the Fourth Estate this morning so that we also get some clarity on this issue, because they are saying that government should publish all the contracts under the big push
that was the
agenda.
only thing I was going to say. Because if I recall, at the time where the Fourth Estate made those allegations, the information that he put out there was not exclusive information. The information that he put out there was
published
actually on the website of the Ministry of Roads and Highways. And it was very visible. I didn't need anyone to tell me that the figures that I am reading this morning are nowhere close to that figure. And I remember there was a lot of back and forth. And as usual of here, the story died a natural death. I don't know how that has resurrected again.
For me, the issue is this. Is it within the remit of the law to engage in sole sourcing? Yes. But it is how it is done in this country. So at what point we say the sole sourcing is too much? At what point?
Okay. So what I recall, let me try to read that. What goes into a decision to sole source, so that at least we appreciate and situate the conversation as far as what we're seeing on the front page of the Daily Graphic is concerned, especially in the case of Ghana. So what is sole sourcing after all? Sole sourcing is a procurement method where an organization purchases goods or services from a single supplier because they are the only known vendor capable of fulfilling the requirements. No competitive bidding takes place, often due to patents, exclusive rights, and highly specialized expertise. And I remember, Charles, that this particular definition came in strongly. At a time where we're constructing the roads, some of these companies had 2-3 employees. Some have never constructed a road with respect to the magnitude with which they had done, but they were still offered those opportunities. Now, if you say you're going to be given opportunities like that to companies who would come in and do a good job, on the back of all that we're seeing from the visits of the minister, where money had even been advanced to some of them and they had disappeared, how would you give a road contract of a certain magnitude to Lizzie and Kwame Dwomoh Company, who have never constructed a road from this door to this gates? And yet these companies are giving ridiculously high contracts. And then the argument at that time was that we needed to do things in a rush, when these same people had very little expertise in working in these areas. And I recall that these were the stories that were brought up by Suleiman Abrahima, if I recall his name. And it was the usual, it wasn't like that, it was like this, it wasn't like that, it was like this. Went to Parliament, I recall, the Honorable Agboja was there, said a thing or two. And I don't remember anywhere where he said that the figures were around 90% correctly done. The figures were around 54-55% thereabouts. So how that has metamorphosed from 54-55 to about 90% today, I would love to see the documents if they can be published, because these are not classified documents. This is my money and your money being used to construct the woods. Can we see them? Period.
Often you will have a very fine case, but the contradictions that often precede and also goes before or after the issues, it raises so much concern and so many questions. Now, who is saying what and who is saying the truth? From the beginning, it said, sole sourcing was about was less than 50%. Now somebody's telling us sole sourcing was just about 4.58. It doesn't add up. It doesn't add up. If indeed sole sourcing is a legitimate issue within the law, and if you knew that, look, all the people who applied or who tried to gain access to the job do not qualify, so because of that, you think only one person tell us
who has a skill and expertise.
Give us all the figures. Okay, because definitely people do all manner of things just to get attention. You probe into it as no. Yes, 4 people try to bait. We realize that 3 of them, no way. So I've started to go with this particular person. There's nothing wrong with that. But where the stories are conflicting, where the issues are conflicting, it raises serious questions.
If there's nothing to hide, publish it.
Yes, that's all about it. Because we don't want to get into another era of Mr. Clearance. No, we don't want to. We don't want to.
Oh, once upon a time there was.
Yeah, there was. Why? Why? I don't know.
Okay, I don't know about that one, so you let me move on.
No, I tell you, I don't
To
know.
make things relatively easy for all of us, if
Richmond,
it's possible
Richmond.
for the Ministry of Roads and
I like the way
Highways
Richmond
to publish
speaks. Eh?
it somewhere,
Whenever he
let's
speaks,
see.
you can actually. So in the Akan language, you see a kasakwa, isn't
I
it?
mean, we can't.
Anyway,
Min pesa ye be John Dramani Mahama, Mr. Clarence. No.
Oh, okay.
Min pesa.
Right.
Can I make?
Right.
but also on the front page
Right.
of that same paper,
Yeah,
there's a comment attributed or a quote attributed to the president there.
Yes, so I
If you
think
can
we-
help me with that.
So it
because
says that
yes.
President orders tougher
yeah.
single sourcing.
Why is the
rules.
president ordering that?
Maybe
think
let me
Yeah.
continue.
Even
please.
before we get into that story, it means that maybe, just maybe, what we have at the moment is not strong enough.
Oh, sure.
I mean, by inference, it's not strong enough, and
Okay,
that's
so
why the
Kwame, let me
president
give you
will
the
make a comment
details of
on
what the
this.
president is
Yeah.
asking for. So, although no wrongdoing has been established, President Mahama
haven't
has
said so.
accepted the report's 4 key recommendations to strengthen Ghana's procurement architecture. Effective immediately, all public sector single source contracts above a prescribed threshold must obtain a value for money certificate from the newly established value for money office. So
And we're
that's-
told around 15 million Ghana cedi thereabouts.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So now, at least the value for money office, we are seeing. We were here.
Who's there now?
questioning-
Who is managing
I
it?
don't
Do you
know.
know?
I don't know.
Do they have a staff?
I don't know.
What is the
But
expertise?
if this is anything to go by, it means that they've started work already. That's the point. So the value for money office is there, created by an act passed on March 26, 2026, blah, blah, blah. Cabinet approval will also be mandatory before any high value single source contract is awarded.
What is the high value?
I mean, Kwame, obviously there will be questions.
No, Harvard.
So-
Does it only
so-
have to be high value?
Okay. I understand consent too. Yeah.
Because
I mean-
what I remember in the case involving the ECG, for example, I read somewhere that the manager, as in the MD at the time, had a threshold of about 1 million Ghana cedi. He couldn't go above 1 million Ghana cedi. So apparently this is what he was doing. I don't have the details in front of me, but I read somewhere. So for example, if the deal is around 999,999, he can approve. So he would approve, let's say, 200 of that, which will end up being almost like 200 million, which is a very high figure. But because he has a threshold of
1 million.
1 million, so he will do 999,999 200 times, 300 times, 400 times, and it will still end up being about 400 million, 500 million, 600 million, 700 million.
You know, it's a
So
funny
for
country.
me, it's not a
Sorry.
case of
The high value.
the project has to necessarily be high value.
Yeah.
Everything should be of value.
Definitely.
Because if there's a whole unit at every single ministry called monitoring and evaluation, and now we have even gone to the extent of starting a value for money office, and I'm sure it will be cited at the presidency.
Sure.
What that simply means is that at the lower level or at the ministerial level, something is not right there, and
Yeah,
that's
that's
why
true.
now we want to open our eyes, or Lizzie will say shine our eyes,
Yeah, so
into the documentation that gets there.
So the president has also asked the Ministry of Finance and the Attorney General to fast track legislation restricting single source procurement to genuinely exceptional circumstances.
I think this is the only one that I really accept.
But why would you want to restrict it,
No.
Rich?
No.
Why would you want to? It's part of our procurement
No,
laws.
read it again.
No, so the president. So it says that the Ministry of Finance and the Attorney General have been directed to fast track legislation restricting single source procurement to genuinely exceptional circumstances.
point is
Who decides on what is genuine?
What is genuine?
No,
That's the point.
One, so many things, variables go into it. Expertise. Do we have similar expertise around, especially when it comes to the health sector? Do we have similar expertise around when it comes to something like issues that border on neurosurgeon work? Okay, and we need to go and procure some form of machines for it, for instance. Do we have to just rely on anybody at all, or somebody that has that expertise in terms of that procurement area? I mean, there are certain things that genuinely calls for some more input that before we agree on, and for me, it has to do with the expertise involved. But apart from that, there shouldn't be anything like sole sourcing. There shouldn't be. Again, okay, like.
Did you simply say so sourcing is a BDT? We are just speaking English. So on the back of that, we'll move. So sourcing is an opportunity to.
Apart from the reading, she hadn't spoken today.
I
Yes. So
She speaks through me.
Like me, the president.
Nana gives me the
Big
signal.
push. It's a project that I want to let it go. Now, the minister, I order you within the next 2 weeks. I want to see this work. You have the means to get many people, bidding for it. Normally, you put it in graphic. Let's say a week, constant, every day. Those who are really interested,
You put in a bid.
they put in a bid. That's it. So
I agree. Yes, I mean, I agree.
This is the thing for me, and if all of us have been around for some time, unless we want to play the role of an ostrich, or unless we want to play the role of a hypocrite.
Yeah.
Look, there are companies that are overqualified.
Yeah.
They won't get the opportunity.
But Kwame, you are not
Are we
connected.
not in this country?
You are not connected. You are not connected with the government of the day.
Exactly.
You are not
Once there's a
connected.
new
You don't
government,
get it.
to the extent that now we have NDC and MPP contractors.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, oh yes.
That's absolutely
And
crazy.
it's also up to them. You know why? Because sometimes they also, I'm talking about the contractors, they also play politics. It is not as though government has decided to, I mean, it just the cracks, so to speak, just came up like that.
But
They also play politics. Aren't we in a country where even when you go to the various lorry stations, there are NDC and then MPP drivers there? Everything is politicized in this country. And so a contractor thinks that, well, it is my government at the end of the day, even though I don't really have the expertise.
Yeah.
Even though I don't really have the expertise. Yes. Yeah. I should be
get all the
I should be
juicy
giving contracts.
Even if I'm told that in that space, you have a certain level of expertise gives you an opportunity to get a certain kind of opportunity. So if, for example, you are Dwomoh and Edu company and you just started, you get some 2x4 contracts. If you've been around for about 15 years with a certain level of experience, then you get maybe from Accra to Wa, that kind of contract.
Okay, yeah.
But we get people in our part of the world whose party came into office only yesterday and they are given the contract from Accra to China.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it's about connections. That's what it's become. It shouldn't be the norm, but
And they have two staff.
Yeah.
you also remember that I think about a couple of months ago, some NEC folks raised an alarm that some contracts are being given to MPP contractors.
And President Mahama
And that was
responded
the- so
to
what?
that.
Yeah. And the same thing is said during the Quail Business Forum.
I think we should start from there, and the president should be very firm on competence and the know-how, rather than NDC MPP thing.
Yeah.
Because you see, it should start from somewhere. One day, so it serves as a benchmark. Yes, we cannot uproot it at a go, but definitely it will help. Yeah, because and I also remember Professor Mills also did the same thing. There was an issue that the NDC guys were complaining, and he says that MPP from when you're gonna far.
But you know what the party folks will tell you. No, Mahama, we are a father for all.
So
That's not
So
what
what?
a certain
So
government.
Still you guys
That's not
are-
what a certain government did.
No, so
so
what?
because a certain government did otherwise, you should also do otherwise. Then at the end of the day, like we say, when two elephants fight, it's the ground that suffers, isn't it? Then at the end of the day, it is we the people.
We are all Ghanaians. We should face that fact that we are all Ghanaians. You guys are giving these people calling themselves the grassroots and stuff to determine what happens in the country, which is not right.
Lizzie votes. So
Lizzie, you are
No,
very right.
we all vote.
You are very right.
what
But
you're
that's
saying
the
is the
stark reality.
ideal situation.
We all-
But
But
that's the stark
unfortunately,
reality. You are right, though.
No, we
But
all
that's the
vote
reality.
during the general election. We don't only have the MPP grassroots, the NDC grassroots going to queue to vote for a president or members of parliament to represent a constituency. We have to put a stop to
How do you stop this?
the government.
I mean, these are-
the government in power is
uh,
supposed to put a stop.
No.
to
It will not.
they have to.
It won't work.
Thing
No,
is, if
no,
they
it
can-
won't. It won't.
if they can,
They can't. That's the
No,
point.
if
They
they can't.
can't.
They
Kwame, they can't.
They can.
To put a stop to what?
See,
People, those calling themselves, say for instance, we are the grassroots
See,
people and all of that.
they
Kwame, you will lose the.
to attend to my needs. If you don't do that, then maybe they kick you out.
So that one I
And
can
you don't want to
understand.
lose votes.
So
So
that one-
you play to whatever demands that he wants.
they can if we.
No, so let me get a point. What are you talking about? Wait, let me understand.
Let her finish. Let her
Okay,
finish. So
right.
I mean, there'll be clarity to what
The
she's saying.
NDC grassroots, MPP grassroots thing could stop if the general public decide to elect whoever represents a particular party. If we all have a say in whatever happens in each party, we won't have people bringing in MPs and presidential candidates. At the end of the day, these people decide who we should actually vote for and represent the country. We could put a stop to. You can have your MPP grassroots, NDC grassroots, but when it comes to matters of the nation, we all have a say in it. The fact that we don't hold a political card, pay dues, 5 cities, 1 city. You can't come and be determined what happens in the country. And those people that goes on to be locking companies and offices
because their parties in power.
Because their parties are in power. Those people are supposed to be arrested, and at the end of the day, they don't arrest them.
Okay, so Lizzie, that is the ideal situation.
Kwame.
Ideally, after the elections are over, it's about nation building.
Exactly.
Ideally. So there's nothing like because you are the one who you voted for NDC and so what, or you voted for the NPP and so what. But unfortunately, our politicians have played on us and are also looking at us in a certain state. If they do the things that the majority would want, probably they get a second term, or they get a third term, or they get a fourth term in office. So once those who claim voted for a certain political party start making noise, the politicians cannot act.
Yes.
Look at what happened with Mr. Partey when he was Greater Accra Regional Minister, and he wanted to clear all of these guys.
Yes.
MPP people were on radio stations saying that he was making the party unpopular. Can you imagine?
Yes.
When he was doing the right thing.
Yes.
He was thinking of.
Kwame.
Of course.
You see,
The point
is that for a certain group of people being described as the grassroots people and all of that, those ones, there's nothing you can do about it.
Who even gave them that name?
I mean, it is there. That's a stark reality. It's there.
Go and chew the grass over there. You're a grassroots person.
No. They must chew the root first before they get to the
what
top.
should we do?
Before they get to the grass.
Because you are a grassroots
the point
person
is that
voted for the NDC, everything about governance should be
no,
about
and
you
that
what
is
you
yes,
want.
exactly, and that's where I side with the concerns we've all shared here. And so it has to start somewhere, and President Mahama has started it. But really, what would it be? What would it mean in terms of the fortunes of the party in the next general election?
If you're doing the right
and
thing, you get the vote.
And that is when the party would also be measured in terms of how it goes about doing some of these things. And that's where, towards the end of the year, I bet you find party folks, let me even talk about this government. You find party folks who go on radio stations and on television stations and say that President Mahama is making the party unpopular, like in the case of Henry Quartey and Co.
Because of what?
Because he is doing the right thing. We live in a country where if you try to change the status quo, Kwame, you would be pushed aside. You'll be classified as an alien.
Let you come and change. If they keep shouting, let them shout. I come in, I change. Lizzie comes in, she changes.
Kwame, if our voting pattern will change too, it would help a lot. But our voting pattern,
when we go to the polls, it's not just the NDC, MPP, grassroots members who go there to vote. They fight for their party, go on radio stations, go on grounds to speak to the people, to the Ghanaian peoples, to vote for their particular candidate they are bringing on board. So it's the general public that have a say in who leads
exactly the point. But that's what I'm saying, that if our voting pattern will change, how do you conscientize the people? How do you conscientize? You have a point.
I understand what this is saying.
Right.
It is not only the question of the two grassroots
that
vote. They are also equally floating voters and others who also vote.
Of course.
So we shouldn't be acquiescing to their so-called demands. I agree with that.
No, the point I'm making, right?
Trust me. If you do the right things, irrespective of what anybody says, Ghanaians will vote for you. You know why? Early 2000s, when Kufuor began the decongestion of the Accra district business district area in early 2000s. Now, the very people who were affected, the next day or two, they came applauding the exercise because Accra was so cleared that people could move freely. Something that otherwise 2 or 3 days ago nobody could do. And the very people who were affected came out, and if you saw in GTV and others, they applauded the people who were affected by the exercise. Trust me, in the heat of the moment, people will talk, but continue to do the right thing and see whether you'll not be accepted.
Okay, let's move on to other stories. I see that story on the two former, do I call them former deputy EC bosses?
The two EC deputies.
Or they are still pushed?
Yeah, I think it will be
on the
July 31, yes. Okay. Yeah, July 31.
One is going on July 31, one is retiring.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
one is resigning
Yeah.
and going
one
back
is
to
retiring.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
One is resigning and going back to the classroom.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
To go and
So
teach.
Kwame,
Yeah.
the story is
That
also
the hate is too much. Sometimes it's good to work.
People want to live their lives.
Yeah.
I mean,
the-
this is not my head
the,
anyway.
Well, what
I
do you
won't
mean
do
people-
again.
What do you mean that people want to live?
No, I won't do again.
No,
This is my
no.
fault.
You won't do again, like go.
I won't do again.
No,
I was a deputy EC
then-
boss.
then-
I want to go back to go
then
and teach.
also be
I want to
smart.
move on.
You know what?
This is by force.
You are scripting your CV. Oh, once upon
Me
a time,
you.
I was
I was an EC, deputy EC boss. Me
But
you.
let me resign. I don't know whether they can fire.
In the case of Mr. Tete, he's retiring because I think he's 60.
Yeah, 60, yeah.
So at 60 he has retired from the
Yeah,
job.
yeah.
And
Fam, it's beautiful. You know why? You know why? So the retirement age is 60, isn't it?
Right.
yes.
If we
here in
have
Ghana.
a lot of these, public officials resigning at 60, it would have been beautiful.
Why?
You hear they'll be given an extension.
Why?
That's the retirement age,
No,
isn't
but-
it?
but-
Go home.
No, no.
You can
If you have additional skill, we give you a contract.
No.
Yes, exactly.
Your one is so good. So let's give him some more.
If someone
So
is
that's
not
what we are
given an
talking about.
opportunity, how do
Extension
we
of
know?
contract. We
How do
understand.
know?
But we are talking about.
I
we are
never,
talking
I
about.
never agreed
we
to
are,
the extension.
we are
You know
talking
why?
about.
You
Because when you
Your
say
one is
that a
beautiful.
person has exceptional skills,
Yeah.
so should be given an extension.
Yeah.
What about those behind him? Then they will never
You've
get
not
the
even
skill
tried them.
to
Yes,
also
exactly.
do
That's
better.
true.
Oh, we know their pedigree.
Where?
No, because you gave them the
Your one is
opportunity.
fantastic.
You gave them the
It doesn't
opportunity.
mean that
So
the
give
number
those
2 or
behind
number
also
3
the opportunity.
are not fantastic
Oh.
until they are given an
Let-
opportunity.
Let your only impact more.
Let the
knowledge
retirees
into
go.
them.
Charles, let's start that campaign. Let the
Kwame, we need
retirees
to
go.
hear. We
Let
need
them
to, yes,
go.
exactly. They should
But
go.
not-
They should
They
go.
should go.
But not the only so good.
No, he's already
Kwame.
been given an extension.
Maybe they.
Why? Okay. So how good is he?
Eh?
What one thing has he done that has made you
That's what the
to
president
classify
is
him?
telling me, not me.
No, how about you?
I
Because you seem to be making a case for him.
No, I don't have an opinion. I'm
Because he said not Yohono, not Yohono. So personally,
I'm only echoing what the president has said.
okay. So let's hear you say that.
That's
That
it.
the president
That
says.
he's performing.
Yes, he's so
okay.
fantastic.
We'll see.
But what do you think? What do you think?
I don't have an opinion.
Let the retirees
Anyway,
go.
Kwame. So you see, I'm saying that it's beautiful. If you retire at 60 years, it's beautiful. I mean,
So
I
He
am.
wants to go and live his life.
I am.
I don't know why this is big news all over the place. Like,
I mean,
I am retiring.
It comes on the back of speculations that possibly they could be taken out of office.
But he's
those
60,
issues.
he's leaving.
Yeah. So
Let's
so
just-
at this age,
Straight. I think the EC has a tenure of office.
yeah.
70, right?
That's what the EC boss.
Okay,
Wait.
EC boss.
Yes,
Not
the boss.
deputies.
Yeah.
Wait.
Okay. Can we
The
check?
EC boss, because I remember Dr. Kodwa Farajan
Yeah.
was probably around 70 when he left office.
yeah.
I know Madame Jimensa is in the late 50s.
Yeah,
I'm not
late
sure
50s,
what
yes,
the age
late
is
50s,
exactly,
yes.
but
Yeah, then she has a long way to
she's
go.
in
Yeah,
her
she
late
has a long
50s.
way.
Yeah.
Just like the next Chief Justice will also have a long
And you can't fire her unless there are some
proving like
proving
what
allegations
was used
against.
against Salah Osei.
Yeah,
That's
the only route. You
when
can't
they,
fire her.
when they cooked up
Okay, I don't know
criminal
about
charges
the cooking
against
up
her.
bit.
Come, I'm telling you,
I don't know about
you don't
it.
know about that.
Anyway,
That
Kwame.
they were
I wasn't here when
they
you
were
made this
Kwame.
They
comment.
were cooked criminal
Kwame.
charges against her.
You see, you and I were not here
No.
when Rich made this comment, so we don't want trouble.
Kwame, maybe let
I
me
don't
bring you
have
this
court
story
money.
before Elizabeth. You come in.
Caught from where?
I don't have
Um,
court money.
The people,
I don't even have a
Kwame,
lawyer
I'm taking you
friend
to
save
Boku.
me.
I'm taking you to Boku. And Rich,
Okay.
it's yes. It's the story you were talking about. And it says that Boku SHS students
The
go
students
on
who are
rampage.
fooling.
Yeah. So now
Just tell them they are fooling.
we understand security has been beefed up on the premises of the Boku Senior High School.
Beef up to do what?
Yeah.
Line them up and cane them.
Who should cane them? The teachers.
They are beating the teachers. The teachers are beating-
Now they are
It
even
should be
beating
the
the
security.
Yes.
It's
Look at
the
this
military
nonsense.
has been deployed
And we
there.
are tolerating. When you line them up, come on.
sometimes I don't understand.
We are pampering these kids and
When there's
beefing
a
up
whole
to do the
state,
aim.
cohesive power of the state, we allow some
Munchi
little
omo
boys
mu na
to take us hostage.
students,
Come on. That today, if you took the
senior
military
high school
there,
students.
if you took the military there, they'll just finish them.
No, the military has been deployed there. That's what we
Yeah. Yeah,
Deployed
they're
to do the aim.
to restore
with them.
calm.
Which one is the restoration?
Charlie.
Lizzie line them up and give it to them
Who
properly.
is going to do the cane?
Look.
This same the way you are calling for these people to be caned, that's the same way when they start caning them. You see child rights activists and PTA
No.
statement to that
This is an
effect.
exceptional case.
They will still release a statement.
Child rights
I,
again.
I have lived in this country to understand that anything you
Kids-
hear people talk
kids-
about it.
kids-
They can
kids
go to hell.
on rampage.
We will
How?
we will
Students
get
going
people
on
talk about
rampage
it
for-
to
for-
defend them.
because you are cheating and you've been
cheating.
caught.
Yes.
Hey, Master.
And we
Get
want to
people
tolerate
to-
this and say security has been beefed up.
See,
Beef that to do
We've
the.
not been able to deal with the issues that played a few
Sure,
months
Mona-
ago. You recall the WAS issue, where these students assaulted the teacher. They made him kneel down and they flogged him very well. And there were some other schools. They did the same thing to some of their teachers there. What has come out of that?
And recently, I saw a video of a teacher who was disciplining a student, a lady, and that story was all over the place. I think the
You can
teacher has
imagine.
even been charged or something.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
we haven't
yeah,
heard
yeah.
anything about the
No,
WAS
I hear the teacher has been the one
suspended or something like that.
Yeah, okay. So okay, well maybe I heard a different story. That has been.
With the WAS thing, to be honest, I haven't seen updates about it.
That's the point.
But
I mean, we allow these things to
this video I
fester.
saw was just last week. The student who was dealing with a young lady,
Yeah,
and I think GS have
the teacher.
the teacher. GS have.
You're dealing with a young lady.
Oh yeah.
How
Oh,
did they do it?
Yeah, it was more like wrestling.
Really?
Yeah.
It was like
Fighting the lady?
Yeah.
oh yeah.
Wow.
From the video I saw, you know, and
that's a teacher.
I've listened to the comments of the teacher since, and I mean, he said he was responding to the actions of the young lady.
Can you imagine?
Kwame Dwomoh-Agyemang.
Can you imagine?
What do you mean? Can you
So
imagine?
you
see,
sit on
you are
her
call-
and you
are
punch her
telling-
and
you are-
you roll her over.
You see what Charles is doing? You're telling, you are calling for the people, the students in Boku to be caned.
To be dismissed and thrown to jail.
That's what I'm saying. You get child rights activists and
What?
PT.
Oh
and
no!
prison
Oh
state
oh
Who cares?
oh
Who cares
that
about-
if they don't write
Listen,
the
who
exam,
cares?
they are not. They are.
Who cares?
No.
It's against their human rights
They can go to court. They can
and
go
their
to court.
careers
They can go to
and
court.
all
Who
those
cares?
No,
all
no.
those English.
Come on.
No, damn,
Yeah, we tolerate a lot of nonsense.
damn whatever
That's how I see
consequences.
it.
Damn whatever
That's why I
consequences.
have a
Yeah,
problem
they should be.
in Africa.
They should be
Nigeria.
disciplined once and for all.
Nigeria, a federal state,
Don't talk
with all
about
the
Nigeria.
coercive powers
Don't
of
talk
the
about
state.
Nigeria. I'm so disappointed in that
you have
country.
a group of people taking the entire country to ransom until the US comes in to beef up your security. You can't deal with those people. What are you talking about? If this is not a working of the politician, my God,
Most definitely, it is.
what are we talking about?
It is.
Kwame, can you imagine the cohesive power of the state when they decide to unleash it on you? Who are you?
How many students are there?
Come on.
I wonder what their numbers are
Gosh.
that we can't deal with them. Anyway,
I mean, it's a
not
sad
their
one.
fault.
It's a sad
It's not
one.
their fault. There's any other stories quickly?
What's the update on Thomas Partey? Tomorrow is the game.
Tomorrow is a game, yes.
Yeah. What's the update?
This morning I heard the foreign minister when you doing a presentation on the news. That,
Kwame,
they are using
Yesterday,
diplomatic channels.
Kofi Adams also spoke.
Yeah,
I heard
that's
him.
my understanding of
Even,
what's happening.
even US with all their
Yeah.
their patapans,
Yeah.
you know what they said? They said no. The guy has no. Yes, you prefer charges against him, but as of now, he's not guilty of any crime. So they cannot in any way say he shouldn't come to their country. That is, if he qualifies to be there. Even the US, even the UK. Partey goes to UK.
Yeah.
So what?
I
what
mean,
can they
once
say?
it's not been pronounced guilty on any of those allegations or those allegations
Yes.
leveled against him, I understand he feels free. He goes to the shopping malls. He does his
Yes.
things as usual, as every human being should do there. And to think that US once upon a time withdrew their visa, but had to make some review upon application from the government of Ghana, and then they have given it back to him. For which reason we understand he's even in US now. And to
Yeah,
think
yes,
that it is the same reason Canada is denying him visa, Kwame, I think it was too high-handed. And so government says that they are using the diplomatic channels. Yesterday I heard Kofi Adams on one of the channels, and you could see that he was really hard. It looks like it's gotten to the point where he has to call the bluff of the government of Canada. That look, no, you can't do this, even though you have the right to determine who enters your country.
But that country too. When I talk about countries within the scheme of things, are they part?
You have been there.
Yeah.
You have been there.
That's
So
what
maybe I don't know what you are privy to.
Canada.
Oh, but
They are
Kwame,
just appendage of the US.
I see.
Oh yes,
I see.
everything Canada is US.
Tell me more.
Their school curriculum, everything. If you go to that shop, it was until when Trump decided threatening them that I'm going to make you the 51st state that they realized, hey, we should be assertive small. That was all. What is Canada?
They are toothless, you see. So Kwame, it's a sad one. I've been saddened by that story. To think that our deputy captain It's not going to play in our opener.
But
It's
Not confirmed yet.
Yes,
They said they're still
but see,
no. I'm talking about what the
Kwame,
story is now.
I would be. I mean,
if it is
from what
anything
I've
to
been
go na-
reading
to-
and
yeah.
listening around, I will be very surprised if anything
grant it.
changes.
Yeah.
I'll be very
No,
surprised.
it won't change. It won't
because
change.
the thing with this, with people in the West, I mean, when decisions like this,
No, but the
are not
American one
taken-
changed.
are
The
not
American one
taken
changed.
lightly
Exactly.
for it to be reversed.
Yes.
No,
It
the
goes
American
through
one
all kinds-
was reversed,
No, but
isn't
look at
it?
No.
There's a sovereign state.
In
So it's not
the
about
case
America.
of
I get it. No, I'm just saying that it's not really cast in stone.
How I would choose to apply it in my country may
Yes,
not be
it's
same in
different.
another
No, I get
country.
it. I get
Yeah.
it. I get it. But so I mean,
But
let's
you
just.
see- but you see, our players should be careful. This is the first time that we've seen players of African descent going through all these problems, and you have to be very careful.
There was
When you
Hakimi.
are- yeah, many of them.
There
Okay?
was
that guy who came to play for Manchester City, the left back,
Mendy.
Okay, even Greenwood.
But he was later acquitted.
I know.
Yeah.
But the point is that the torture that you go through before that acquittal, that's exactly what Partey is going through. Lizzie is here. MFI is here. Zita is here. Nice ladies. And these are footballers. When they come down, they should come to the very ground.
When they get money like that,
No,
yeah.
it's not about money. It's about preference. What you want. So if they want
And they want it, but they are in trouble. Though, I
That
beg.
is their.
Yeah,
That
for-
is
for-
come
for-
back
for-
for-
you
for-
can't
for-
change
No,
anything.
please,
you can't
I
force
beg
somebody
them.
to come and
No,
marry a
no,
Ghanaian
oh,
if they
I'm only
they-
pleading with them that look, the
No.
trouble is still looming.
No,
They should come back.
They should enjoy their money.
For me,
I
I would agree with Les on the preference thing. If you want a white lady, it's up to you. But
But you should be
in
careful.
these cases, you know,
They don't love you.
when we hear of alleged rape and
Yeah.
all of that, I remember when this issue first came up last year.
Right.
I was with a lady friend and it was like, so with all their wealth and with all of these beautiful ladies around who are willing to throw, in quotes, even throw themselves at them, why would you go and rape? And I remember I had to
rape.
remind her that no, this is an allegation. It's not proven in court yet. But she was like, in the case of Partey, for example, it's not one woman, it's not two, it's not three, it's a number.
So do you believe this? But that's how the
don't
guys
know.
want to destroy you.
I don't
So I'm
even want to
pleading
get
with
into
them.
it.
Please come home.
Come home.
Come home.
He's from Somania. There are
So
lots
many-
of Krobo girls.
Not for
You
real,
would have-
seriously.
oh.
Because these guys will, and it's a plot, deliberate, and not about destroying you, about making cash. And that is all.
They take your wealth. Yeah.
Yeah.
You won't bring back your money to your
What?
country.
There was a
Keep it
Cote d'Ivoire or an Ivorian player who also went through such
Yeah,
a ordeal.
Ebwe.
Ebwe.
Yes.
No, his was a marriage situation.
Yeah. Oh, okay,
yeah,
okay,
they
okay.
divorced and the lady went away with everything.
And then
Yeah.
Hakim was smart enough, and then
Yeah.
made sure
Put
that-
everything in the name of his mom. So when the lady decided that she was going,
Aha.
then
So
she
you
realized
see-
that Capre.
Capri
Capre accounts. no.
that country.
Yeah.
So clearly, this is an agenda setting. And please, the boys should come down. Come and marry our girls. It's cool. Oh. Lizzie.
I
Lizzie.
won't.
You're
I
not
won't
the
choose for
footballer.
them.
Oh,
Yeah, I won't choose for them. I
I'm
won't
not
choose for
saying
them.
no, but all I'm saying is that they should come down. They
Okay,
should come
guys,
down.
can we wrap? Can we wrap?
Hey,
Because we have a
Kwame,
letter to the president in there.
So maybe the final one from Lizzie, right? You have a final
Okay,
one
so
there?
there's a pension assets hit 120 billion Ghana cedis as MPRA pushes private sector investment. So the Chief Executive Officer of the National Pension Regulatory Authority, Chris Boedi-Mensah, has announced that Ghana's pension asset has surged to 120 billion Ghana cedis as the authority intensified efforts to redirect more pension investment into productive private sector enterprises. Speaking at the listening ceremony of the Casapreco PLC on the Ghana Stock Exchange, Mr. Boedi-Mensah described the country's pension industry as a major source of long-term capital capable of driving Ghana's economic transformation. Addressing President Mahama, Ministers of State, Institutional Investment, and the captain industry gathered at the event, the MPRA CEO said the growth in pension assets presents a unique opportunity to finance indigenous businesses and reduce over-reliance on government securities.
Okay, I remember Dr. What's his name? Lawyer Lawyer La, Philemon La, the director of planning for the organization, was here. Incidentally, seated where Lisa is, and spoke a lot.
Liz is sitting?
Yeah, spoke a lot deeper with respect to these issues. So let's wait and see how they are going to be implementing all of those. Let me say a big thank you to Liz, a big thank you to Charles, and a big thank you to Rich as well.
But we should launch a crusade to get all our footballers come down to marry our women.
We'll leave it to them. But I've got a letter to His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama. We're going to be coming through with that. But Mr. President, let me say good morning to you. Every year the rain comes. Every year the floods follow. Every year lives are lost, properties are destroyed, and promises are made. Yet when the waters recede, many of their underlying problems remain. Today, in a letter to the President, we look beyond the headlines, beyond the emergency response, and beyond the bulldozers to ask a question that goes to the heart of our national struggle against flooding. Beyond the demolitions, what next, Mr. President? The script, this very beautiful one, has been put together by my news editor, Nana Oye. Listen.
Your Excellency, many Ghanaians have grown wary of the official response to the devastating effect of flooding in our capital city, Accra. Year after year, the rains arrive with a familiar script: flooded homes, submerged roads, destroyed businesses, displaced families, and tragically, the loss of human lives. The annual flooding and its attendant chaos have become such a recurring feature of our national life that many citizens no longer react with surprise. Instead, they wait anxiously to see the extent of the destruction and whether they or their loved ones will be the next victims of a disaster that has become all too predictable. Mr. President, what is even more troubling is that our response to these disasters appears equally predictable. Whenever tragedy strikes, the immediate reaction is to identify structures built on waterways and order their demolition. Bulldozers move in, homes are pulled down, businesses are destroyed, families are displaced. Amid tears, protest, and despair, the exercise is carried out with remarkable urgency. The public is then assured that the problem has been addressed. Yet, when the next heavy rains arrive, the flooding often returns with the same ferocity or worse. This raises an important question. Beyond the demolitions, what next? Mr. President, after these structures are demolished, what happens to the debris? Where are the mountains of concrete, blocks, roofing sheets, and rubble transported to? Do we have designated landfill sites for the waste generated from these exercises? Too often, the debris remains at or near the demolition site for extended periods, creating new obstructions and further choking drains, waterways, and stream channels. Ironically, the very exercise intended to improve water flow sometimes contributes to the problem it seeks to solve. This suggests that demolitions alone cannot be the solution. What about the countless kiosks, containers, roadside stalls, and makeshift structures that have sprung across the city? Many occupy pavements, road shoulders, and drainage reservations. They contribute significantly to congestion and, in many cases, obstruct the free flow of stormwater. What about this indiscriminate dumping of refuse into gutters and drains? Who holds accountable the irresponsible individuals who turn our drainage systems into dumping grounds for plastic waste, food containers, and household refuse? Every rainfall exposes the consequences of these actions as drains overflow with waste that should never have been there in the first place. Mr. President, are our waste management systems functioning as they should? Are the companies entrusted with keeping our environment clean delivering on their mandate? Are they being adequately supervised and held accountable? And what became of the sanitary inspectors who once enforced environmental regulations with discipline and seriousness. Many older Ghanaians remember a time when environmental sanitation was treated as a matter of public responsibility. The sanitary inspector was a respected and feared figure whose presence alone encouraged communities to maintain cleanliness. Homes, compounds, drains, and public spaces were regularly inspected and offenders faced consequences. Today, that culture appears to have eroded. Mr. President, you recently observed that the flooding challenge is not merely a consequence of nature's fury, but also of human attitudes and behavior. Many Ghanaians agree with you. The rains may be natural, but the clogged drains, the indiscriminate dumping of waste, the disregard for planning irregulations, and the culture of environmental indiscipline are entirely man-made. If attitude is indeed at the heart of the problem, then the solution must go beyond demolition exercises and emergency responses. How do we reshape public behavior? How do we restore environmental responsibility as a civic duty? How do we ensure that every Ghanaian understands that keeping our drains clean is just as important as government constructing them? How do we align the attitudes of citizens, institutions, businesses, and local authorities with the President's vision of reducing the devastating effects of flooding in our capital? Mr. President, demolitions may clear a path, but they do not change mindsets. And until we address the attitudes and systems that create these problems in the first place, we may continue to witness the same cycle of destruction year after year. The rains will come again. The question is whether Ghana will be better prepared, not only in infrastructure, but also in discipline, enforcement, and civic responsibility. Beyond the demolition, Mr. President, what next? Yours faithfully, Class FM.
Over to you, Your Excellency, President John Dramani Mahama. Those are still Class 91.3 FM. little princess. She's 5 years old, growing in grace. Happy birthday, Eni Ojo. We love you. Okay, so happy birthday, little girl, as you celebrate your birthday this day. This one says, happy birthday to Joe Lomi. Wishing you a day filled with joy, laughter, and all the happiness you deserve. May this new year bring you success, good health, and countless blessings. Have an amazing celebration. And this one is coming from the homeless family to you. Queen mother, yeah, she's a powerful queen mother. Madam Kafuyaja, you're celebrating your birthday today. Happy birthday to you on this very, very special day. My beautiful wife, hey, pressure. W1 Ivy Fry Oklu, wishing her long life, prosperity, and above all, good health. Irene is also here as well. Irene just landed from Kosomouskaya, so she's going to be keeping us up to speed with what's been happening from that part of the world and in other parts of the world as well. And he'll be doing this with Charles in HF.
Morning. So, how's your weekend, by the way?
So.
So I don't know. Why so? What you didn't? You didn't do anything exciting.
No.
You didn't go out.
To where?
Hey.
I mean, these days, is there even a weekend? There is a wedding here, there's a funeral there, there's this program here, that program there. You get home,
then you sleep.
Anyway,
Charles, what did you do?
Well, it was a long weekend for me, I should say.
Long is good.
Inclusive Monday.
Monday,
for the obvious reason.
Yeah.
I mean, so technical, we're working on,
what I've not forgotten though is that
I'm
still waiting for the dinner date at Kempinski.
The what?
The dinner date.
Dinner date.
Yeah, dinner date.
Yeah. With who?
Dinner dates.
With who?
With Her Excellency, Madam Irene Kwaf.
Yeah. Well, Kwame, we are here to give you
No, but you should tell us what you also did over the weekend.
I fasted and prayed.
Can you imagine?
Seek the face of the Lord.
You know what Kwame did?
How do you know?
Fasting.
Kwame was marking your papers.
With the FNC.
Hey,
it's okay.
Manade.
It's okay.
The way it was bad.
G minus.
Me.
They'll call you, papa.
That's why I was
I mean,
fasting and
the
praying.
case of a lecturer and a student. Anyway, Eric, so what do we have?
We are here to give you 4 of the most abnormal and astonishing places on Earth, locations where nature seems to have broken its own rules. So first off is a lake could be in your favorite color. Kwame, what color will you pick? A lake with your favorite color.
Class 91.3.
That's your favorite color, blue.
Yes. Yeah.
Which shade? There's steel blue, light blue, sky blue, different. No, there's royal blue.
Where did that 1 2 come from?
Oh, say they said shades there.
When I was in primary school, my teacher only said blue.
The sky
Today
is
I'm
blue.
hearing this blue, navy blue. This,
Yeah.
what is that? It is blue.
Charles,
Yeah, brema.
what will the lake be? The color?
So summer green.
You see, he said summer green.
Which one is that?
No, because I'm going
Green in the summer.
Summer green.
No, I
I'm
don't
going by
know.
your reasoning.
How is
actually.
summer green like?
It's how do I even describe it? So when we talk about green, one thing that comes to mind is the military type of green.
Army
But-
green.
Yes, the army green. But this one looks a bit lighter, more like a combination
Lemon
of
So
green?
light green. Nah, son.
more like
Which
a
one is
combination
summer green?
the natural green and some yellow color.
Which
in
one
there,
is okay? Army
Aha,
green and yellow.
Exactly.
So lemon
exactly.
green.
Well,
Hey.
so we have lemon green and it's the same as summer green, isn't it? Anyway.
Well, imagine a lake that looks like someone poured a strawberry milkshake into it. There's a lake famous for its bright pink water, a color that remains visible even when the water is collected in a bottle. So scientists believe the color comes from microorganisms and algae that thrive in the lake's salty environment. The contrast between the pink water, white sand and blue ocean makes it one of the most surreal sights on Earth. So it's a beautiful place to be. And I hear if you take pictures, it turns out really good. Yes, so I'll go there one day. Maybe my pre-wedding
The
photo
bright
shoot.
pink lake.
When I find him, we'll do pre-wedding there.
Yeah,
Or maybe
that-
we'll do
that'd
the
be
wedding.
nice, though.
Yeah,
That'd be
pink,
nice.
white, and all of it. So
That'd
that's
be
what
nice.
I have for
It's
a
one,
child.
it's one of your favorite colors, isn't it? Pink.
Baby pink, yeah. I like baby pink a lot. So
Right.
let's find out what you have.
Let me do that. And let's talk about the rainbow gazer. So we call it the fly gazer, which is this strange looking formation resembles something from another planet. So hot water continuously erupts from this geyser, and minerals mixed with heat-loving algae have painted it in brilliant shades of red, green, and orange. And you like colors.
Yep.
So red, green, and orange. How does that sound? I mean, that looks like some bright colors.
Too
in there.
colorful.
Yeah.
Red,
And
green,
although it
orange.
was accidentally created by human drilling, nature transformed it into one of the world's most unusual landscape. So, of course, the minings, the drilling activities, and all of that led to the emergence of this geyser. And nature has also played a role in making it beautiful with the very shades of red, green, and orange in that regard. So, Kwame, that'll be it for this segment.
Yeah.
120 seconds around the globe. And of course, every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, what we seek to do on this segment is to bring you fun facts of happenings and events around the globe, all under 120 seconds, if you like, 2 minutes, isn't it? My name is Charles Akrofi.
And I might.
To Joe Lomi, wishing you a day filled with joy, laughter, and all the happiness you deserve. May this new year bring you success, good health, and countless blessings. Have an amazing celebration. And this one is coming from the Homelex family. Okay, your brothers earlier on, I just did that. So happy birthday to you on this very, very special day. This is the Class Morning Show, and this is a Piece of My Mind, which is a segment of the show where I share my thoughts on a subject and also give you an opportunity for you to share your thoughts as well. Remember, you can reach us via multiple ways on our WhatsApp platform, 0500,000 202, 0500,000 202. Alternatively, you can reach us on our socials. We're streaming live on Facebook, Class 913. You can give us a comment, you can give us a like, you can give us a watch, and you can give us a share. We would appreciate that. And then when the phone lines are activated, you can call us as well. Take note of the calling number 0302 208080, 0302 208080. When the phone lines are activated, I would love to hear from you. This morning, I want to focus on three things, and I'm going to do this real quickly so that I can get the opportunity to listen to you on these issues and get to hear from you by WhatsApp and get to hear from you on our social media platforms as well. First off, let me start with the Tema Dowinya Road. This morning, I'm asking a very simple question. What is a contractor doing on that road? We have decided that this year we're going to be very developmental focused, and then every now and then we'll chip in the political conversations as well. What is a contractor doing on that road? Because the road is just getting worse and just getting worse and getting worse. I've always told a story of what that road was like 30 years ago when I lived in Tema as a kid.
1.3 FM.
If you stood by the motorway, you could possibly count the number of cars that were making their way all the way to Volta regions. Because in those days, beyond the Tema Golf Club, there was nothing like Community 25. There was nothing like Def Draco and all of these communities and all of these estates that you saw there. You were seeing one or two houses dotted by the road until you go all the way to a place like Dowinya. And even with Dowinya, it was just a small town. And beyond Dowinya, you probably move all the way to Pram Pram, and then you keep going and keep going and keep going. All the areas and the developments that you see around the place called Central University, very much a part of Mutu, were very tiny hamlets. In the last 20 plus years, hundreds of thousands of people have moved on to that enclave. And all of this while, our politicians, our leaders, the people who have the means to influence all of these conversations have just sat there and have not done much to improve access to transport on that road. It's still the same limited road. Every now and then we hear conversations about an improvement on that road. But what do we see? I used that stretch in the last 72 hours. And I didn't even see anything that suggests that this is something that is going to be finishing anytime soon. The number of people who use that road on a daily basis is crazy. There are people who are living in these communities and are working in Accra. They are leaving home at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, because if they make any effort to leave home anywhere after 5:30, it would be almost impossible. And you know what the worst part is about the nature of the road today? It's not even about going through all of that traffic wahala and finding your way around the Tema motorway. The wahala you also have to go through on the Tema motorway itself is another problem. So if you happen to live anywhere from 25, Def Traco, and all of the communities there, after spending about 2-3 hours, you hit the motorway, and because they are also constructing that road as well, you're going to be taking another 1 hour or something like that just to get to the Accra Mall area. So you're waking up like 2-3 just to go to work, because if you do anything after 4 or let's say after 5, chances are that you're going to be getting to work, or you're going to be getting to Accra maybe after 10 or after 11. What kind of situation is this? And if you close from work at 5, it's going to take you another 4-5 hours just to get back home. Why? For those of you who live there, I honestly do not know how you do this. And that would feed into the next two issues that I want to look at. And here I'm going to be tying in health and a bit of transport as well. And I'm going to tie that in with a question. Do our politicians really take us seriously? Do they really have any serious plans when it comes to governance, when it comes to the people? Because the reason why they are there is that they are supposed to serve, and they are supposed to take decisions that would influence your lives positively. Have our politicians over the years taken those decisions that would influence our lives? Last week we spent a bit of time discussing transport. And I keep seeing this every single day. I leave home at dawn to come to work Monday to Friday. And now, even at dawn, you are seeing the numbers by the roadside. People in a hurry to leave home and get to work, especially when the weather is good, because you just do not know when the rains are going to start. And then you see all of these people in their hundreds sometimes standing by the roadside looking for a car just to get to the work. And when they close from work, it's same. And it's not just about the hundreds of people who are standing by the roadside just to get car, because not too many people can afford. And when you try to force your way into the Trotsky as well, chances are that you're going to lose your phone, you're going to lose your wallet and all of that. So it takes me into the conversations that we've been having on this platform to do with public transport. Elsewhere, you are seeing what governments are doing to improve that situation. You are seeing the efforts that they are making. In January this year, when I returned from Morocco, I cited the example of what the Moroccan government is doing in that regard, putting a lot of buses on the road and also ensuring that they improve their railway infrastructure. So there is an organization there, and I hope that I'll get to see Madame Wadi maybe in the coming days or in the coming weeks, and we'll have that conversation with her on this platform about what they are doing in that regard. There's an organization called ONCF, ONCF, who are just improving the railway service in that country. It's just so brilliant. So you're not seeing so many cars on the road, you're not seeing so many buses on the road, and their population is even bigger than us. But what they are doing is that they are trying to take as many people off the road, avoiding all of those traffic situations and getting people to move around by rail, especially in the major cities, because that's where the numbers are. So if you're in Rabat or if you're in Casablanca, you can do a fair bit of distances by rail. And then if you have to move from one major city to another major city, almost all the major cities in Morocco are connected by rail. So if I'm here, for example, in Ghana, and I have to move from Accra to Kumasi, Accra to Takrade, Accra to Ho, Accra to Sunyani, I don't have to bother doing 7, 8, 9 hours on these very bad routes. But I can do a proper train. If you want to go in a faster way, you go with a bullet train, of course. So you pay a bit more. If you want to go with a normal train, you also pay maybe a bit less. But it will still take you wonderfully to your destination. And then you get to see, the countryside. You enjoy all of those landscapes. It was just amazing. We have our leaders traveling and seeing all of this, experiencing all of this. But it looks like when they come home, their brains are clogged. I don't know. It looks like the moment they get to Accra International Airport, their brains are clogged because they do not appear to be taking the decisions that would inure to the benefit of you and me. We sat here on this platform and discussed the challenges of transport in the major cities, starting with Accra during December. The buses come, and in the name of profits, I'm not saying profits are wrong, but in the name of profits, all of a sudden, those buses that were supposed to come in to alleviate the challenges in the city are now doing intercity. As if that is the challenge we're discussing. Is that what we're discussing? We said we're getting in 300 buses. So at least when the first 100 come, use it to attend to the immediate problem. And then when the other 200 come, you can do your intercity. That is not a problem. But when you bring the buses, and the buses are supposed to attend to the needs that we're discussing, and they are now attending to other needs, how many people are moving from, let's say, Accra to Kumasi? And those buses can only take 29 people. They can only take 29 people. It's not even a big bus that will take about 50 people, 60 people, 70 people at a time. They are only taking 29 people. And I'm not surprised that they have taken that decision to do intercity. Because even if you want to do an intra, not with this kind of bus. If you travel elsewhere and you board a bus, that bus takes 70, 80, 90, 100 people. So that so many people can afford to go through that. Because it is relatively cheaper. Now you've brought these very fine buses and you say you want to do, I'm not saying it's wrong to bring fine buses and do intracity. But that is what we complained of. That is what we need. The buses have arrived and the fare set is now being used for intercity. And then you tie in the bit of health. Because our health is important and our transport is very important. And these things align in one way or the other. Look at the joke that is happening as far as the health conversations are concerned. We're having conversations about who should have built this, who should have done this, who should have done this, who should have done this. It's a shame and it's an eyesore when you see what happened with some of the hospitals in the Ashanti region. And that's why you ask yourself whether our politicians think sometimes. Because you can't tell me that you've gone for a loan, you've gone to borrow some money, you start a hospital, the hospital is at a certain stage of completion as far back as 2016. You come and spend 8 years in office, you do next to nothing about it, and then that same party that started these facilities come back, and in 18 months, you are saying that they have not done enough to complete it. Where were you in those 8 years? Sometimes it looks like our politicians think we are fools. So they can throw in anything and start a conversation, and they know we will tag along because they know we would cover. They have bloggers, they have everything. So they'll put this thing in the media space and they would expect all of us to tag along. For 8 years, what were you doing? For 8 years, you decided to start a whole new thing called Agenda 111. And after 8 years, you barely completed any one of them. You make a lot of noise about building a number of hospitals. Yes, but there's a hospital and there's a hospital. It's just like there's a house and there's a house and there's a car and there's a car. Picanto's classmate is not a Maybach. So if you go and build some 2-3 room hospital somewhere in Mim, you can't compare that to the University of Ghana Medical Center. If you go and build some 2x4 hospital in Trede, you can't compare that to the Bank of Ghana Hospital. Standards keep improving every now and then. And those facilities that could attend to so many more people, you left all of them in the bushes to rot. And yet we turn around and complain that 16 or 17 months into the current administration, they have not done enough to deal with the situation. What were you doing for the 8 years that you were there? You have spent over 400 million Ghana cedis on hospitals and barely completed any one of them. Yet they are shouting from the rooftops all the time. So someone would ask, is this democracy thing where we go and queue and elect these people who are supposed to take the decisions that matter to you and me? Is this really helping us? Or the way we do it here, is it really helping? Because the people who we go and queue and vote for, who are supposed to affect our lives, are not doing enough to affect your life and are not doing enough to affect my life. And there's a load of nonsense about foot soldier, and attending to a foot soldier. Not attending to, the foot soldier is also a Ghanaian, but the conversation is not just about them, it's about all of us, including even people who may not have voted for your political party. Because at some point, based on your work, their minds could even change for them to vote for you. Why do we not just appear to do things right? Why? Why? It looks like practically every sector over the years, not just, and I'm not saying all of these things are happening in the last 17 months. Over the years, we can't seem to solve a problem. We can't seem to solve a problem. Even when we start, we never seem to finish. What is wrong with us? What is wrong with the people we've put in positions of power and influence to affect your life and affect my life? What is wrong? The phone lines are activated. You can call me and share your thoughts. 0302208080 0302208080. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Okay, I can't seem to hear this person, but you can also call and share your thoughts with me. Hello, good morning. Hello. Okay, I can't seem to hear this person either, but you keep trying. 0302208080 0302208080. Okay, so let me try this one. Hello, good morning. I can't seem to hear those either. Let me get my technicians to come and fix the phone lines for me. Or you can send your message to us on 0500,000 202 0500,000 202, and I'll be so glad to hear from you on the issues that we're raising on the platform this morning. 0302 208080 or 0500,000 202 0500,000 202. Well, as I wait for your phone calls, let me take some messages that have come in. A bit of a challenge with our phone lines this morning, but you can still call 0302 208080 0302 208080. I would love to hear from you on the issues that we're discussing on the platform this morning. Okay. Okay. And I see that some of you are really bothered about the situation with the routes where you find yourself. This one is coming from Al Hassan in Amasamang. You say, Kwame, one thing we are not realizing about our communities in Accra is that old communities, they have small inadequate drains. The new ones like Gan East and West, the Abeka and adjoining ones, moving beyond Accra and not forgetting Kaswa towards the central region. These communities have no drains, and unfortunately, the waters emerge from there to the coast. Mr. President, can you intervene through the local government ministry to bring this issue to a halt? Ashaman and the new developmental areas, Madina, Yarifa, Abokobi and Dome, Taifa, Tuamasamang, and its extensions. If planning in all these areas fail, we, the rest in other parts of the city, would suffer, especially during this rainy season. Okay, thank you very much. Let me try again and see whether this would go through. Hello, good morning. Hello. Okay, I can't seem to hear the caller, so my technician is here to help me deal with that. Let me take those one. This one says, good morning, I'm Eben from Kwabinya. Gradually it is finishing one after the other. You said one retired, one resigns, others to follow soon, and that's my wish, because their deeds are a threat to our young democracy. And you say greetings to the Honorable Julius Debra, the Chief of Staff, the Honorable Peter Kwesi Mensah of Tema Shipyard, and the Honorable MC for Gan East, the Honorable Agbo. And you come back to say it again. Okay, can I take some calls down? Okay, let me take some messages. This one says, good morning, Kwame. Please kindly beg. You don't have to beg. You don't have to at all. Pure water in Ajekojo, you don't have to. It's their job to ensure that they provide. Please kindly beg our Tema West MC to do some work on the Ajekojo, Kanewu, and Sun City roads for us. We are suffering a lot. Our roads are very bad. Drivers are charging us more than the normal fee because of the situation with the roads. Kwame, the way you guys always say it as it is, that's why my radio is always on class. Keep doing what you do, and I appreciate you listening to us every single day. That's why we're here. We'll say it as it is, and we'll ensure that we get the authorities to work and act. One day you'd ask me, what do I mean by saying what's the benefit of being a Ghanaian? I know, right? Because we can't seem to get anything right in this country. We focus on the minor issues, and then the major issues, we go on a commercial break. That's what happens here every single day. Let me take this from Juliet in Kaswa. You say, God bless you, Kwame, for the love you have for Mother Ghana. In fact, our roads are very bad. Our transport systems are very bad, especially the Kaswa stretch to Winneba. The politicians keep on collapsing the road sector. They always make a fool out of the ordinary Ghanaian. This is sad. Okay, let me try again. Maybe this would help. Okay, maybe this would help. Okay, let me try this. Hello, good morning. Ooh, okay, so 0302208080, 0302208080. Give me a call and share those very strong thoughts with me. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Kwame. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, Mensah. Yourself?
I'm good.
Mensah, go ahead.
Anyway, Kwame, I always worry just like the way you are. That why can't we have a real link in all the regional capitals in this country? I don't know why. From here to Takrady, we need not to go by road. The sea is there. The political person, the black politician, is a different breed of a person. And we need a research on their brain. Kindly call doctors to check on them. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you very much, Mensah, for calling in. 0302208080, 0302208080. Hello, good morning. Yes, hello, good morning.
How are you doing?
Eben, I'm doing well. Yourself?
Oh, not bad at all. Me say Asemi Dika, one Ebeka, me no one Ebeka. If we are not going to say it, who is going to say it for us, Kwame? Eh? So no matter how it is, we have to say it for government to come to our aid, because we know we vote for developers. Is that not it? So I'm pleading with my president, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Your time now is a legacy term. Don't touch any project that you know you will not be able to finish. We are begging you. And if possible, please, let's go with the national agenda as the late Professor May started it. That you can't come and say what you are abandoning what ongoing project and do your own. At the end of the day, it's my taxpayers' money and Kwame's taxpayers' money that we use to do the project and not anybody's money. And even if we go for loan, are we not going to pay it, Kwame? We are going to pay it. So, Mr. President, as you are doing legacy projects, make sure all the projects can be completed and also the abandoned ones. You see, at times, my friends normally tell me we shouldn't use this MPP to be our district because they are not our mates. Look at what they did. Starting with 111 hospitals at a go. Even in their time, weren't able to finish the complete one, but they had the gap to go and complete. Shame on them. Have a good morning, Kwame.
Have a good morning too. Thank you very much, Eben, for calling. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, brother.
Yes, good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
What's the benefit of being Ghanaian?
Oh, I just read your message.
Yeah, because you know what? One day, are you there?
I'm here.
You come into your studio and ask me what's the benefit. What always I keep repeating, saying that what's the benefit of being Ghanaian? You know what? See those players who choose other countries over Ghana. I just want to give some small example. They know the system that is working. Look at our country. Look at what is happening. They have put the pressure to some corner that if a minister or MP or MC came to done a borehole in your community, is Jesus Christ. Why? It's the duty of government to make everybody okay. But I don't know what kind of education, what kind of ideology they put into us. That when somebody go there a road, like them, I don't know, you have to pay the person Jesus. No, it's everybody has to enjoy. Everybody has to we pay taxes to the government. Government has to develop the country for us to feel okay. Is it compared to travel? You see the place, people outside, they don't want to come to Ghana. They want to come because the system is not working. What is the benefit of being Ghanaian? Good morning.
Thank you, my brother. 0302208080. Hello, good morning.
Morning, my very good brother. This is Michael.
Yes, morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
Michael from Kotobabe.
Mike, can you speak up a bit?
Michael from Kotobabe.
Mike, go ahead.
Thank you. So, if someone is coming to serve you, do you serve the person or is it you that serve the person? The one that's paying you, or we are paying them, we have to serve them, or they that we pay them have to serve it. You see, it's a mistake. We always bow down for these people because of their position, but that is not it. We should get them on their toes, doing work, solving problems. It's not about them, because we are not hungry enough. That is why they are messing up.
Thank you. I appreciate you calling. 0302208080. Hello, good morning. I lost this caller, but you can try again. 0302208080. 0302208080. Give me a call and share those very strong thoughts with me. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Brother Kwame.
Yes, good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
This is your friend Ike Lord.
Ike, go ahead.
Yeah, this one, I just want to know, or I just want to ask this question. Do we have a trade minister, and at the same time, do we have a transport minister in this country?
They are there.
But I don't feel their work. They are not doing their work. They should sit up and reset their man. What they are doing is against us. What they are doing, even I can't take far.
See, I can't think far. 0302208080. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
Yeah, my name is Seth. I'm calling from Ajekojo.
Seth, go ahead.
You see, Mr. Kwame, I just want to raise these two aspects of the distance. You know, anybody who believe in mathematics doesn't deteriorate. You always progress. Because the life calculation depends on the mathematics. You mentioned Dowenya, that road, who contractor it is. See, last I was doing my own routine check. I saw the contractor that was at Kenya Junction to Michelle Camp that side there. I saw it, they are doing something on that day. If the contract, the one they give it to him and give that one to it, that means they have to cut one and give it to some of the standard contractor who can do that one. The same thing is applying to Ajekojo under bridge to Santo Legon here. The just more they give that project to, and he is not not doing anything. He have breached all the construction ethic, hazard, this thing, caution. He have break all because the Ajekojo and the bridge road, it is not a bush or a farm road. It is a existing road, and then the car was patrolling. So when you come to construct that road, you find the access way for the people to be passing. But you dig the road and say you are constructing a bridge that can throw more water to this, and then you make the hole for there. Motor rider are falling, hunting, car are falling on that. Nobody is talking. But we are giving them a time. Now we will rise it. Either the government will terminate it or we will push him to come and do it. If it is the money, they should let us know. Thank you.
Thank you too. 0302208080. Hello, good morning.
Kwame.
Yes, sir.
Name, Pramadentao.
Kwame, go ahead.
Kwame, for NPP, you see, if they continue in this tangent, they are going to stay in opposition for a very long time. You get my point? Because there are so many things that were in government for 8 years they couldn't do. You see, now another government came within 1.5 years. They are trying to throw that into people's eyes. But Kwame, let me move on. Kwame, see, right now, for me to drive from my house to even the main road, first, second gear, and I'm consuming more petrol than before. Because you know when the road is not good, you can't go speed. And you drive on low gears. So as for the road situation, you see the road you mentioned right now. The time I passed there, it was like 10 years ago. Last time we tried to pass the Dorina road there, it was terrible. So Kwame, this big push, I hope government say they have allocated money for the project. So what is going on? You see, I know Mahama had a good mind, intention for this country, but he has to be up and doing.
He has to be up and doing indeed. It looks like the contractor on that road has gone on a commercial break. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Kwame.
Yes, good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
This is Osman.
Osman, go ahead.
Kwame, please, I want to ask you a simple question. I learned that the politicians, before you become MP or DC or president, they have to check whether you have sound man or you don't have sound man. Are they checking it?
I don't know.
Or we are lacking the equipment, the psychiatric people. If we are lacking, they should let us know. So the country will provide for them. So we'll start checking them. These people are not correct. All of them, they are not correct.
Oh, Osman, you won't kill me. 0302208080. Take maybe one or two more calls and then we'll wrap up the segment. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Kwame.
Babs, go ahead.
Kwame, thank you very much for your hard work.
Thank you.
I'm wondering how you do it. From Class FM to GTV to Sporty FM. More grace to your ego. God bless you, Kwame.
Thank you.
Kwame, we were in this country. All of a sudden, we said what? Circle has sent to what? Dubai. Why did we say so? Because for the first time, we saw something that we've never seen fly over. But Kwame, today go and see Circle Dubai. Can we still call it Dubai? No, it's our attitude. Kwame, it's our attitude, Ghana, Ghanaians. Why is it that when we are outside this country, we do the right thing, but when we come back, some time ago, one of my friends said, "Look, can't be a macho tomonye." No, I mean, you see, it's Kwame in front of my face, right? When MPP and NDC was overthrown, when they voted NDC out in front of my face as Circle, you best say no. Street light to that short ones, not the tall ones at Circle. You best say no. They're destroying it. By then I was coming from Kaswa and I dropped at Circle. They're destroying it. You see, as for the road, Kwame, Look, unless you have a by-election, you'll get a good road in this country. So the politician will keep on fooling us.
Pops, thank you very much. Let me take a final caller because we're going to be speaking to the guys at Fourth Estate on the allegations of breach of procurement laws in award of road contracts. So let me take a final caller and then we get to speak to the guys at Fourth Estate. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning. Your name and where you're calling from?
Occasion, Gulf City.
Occasion, go ahead.
Thank you, Kwame. God bless you for the work done, man.
Thank you.
Do you know something?
Tell me.
I keep saying this anytime I come on air to you when you are doing the program. You say you travel to some countries.
Morocco, yes.
When you join train, and you join train with one of the minister, you say you laugh. What exactly were you laughing? You say you laugh. I remember you said it like that. You were laughing at the minister, or you were laughing as you board the train with the minister. Fine. You see, when they went there, they joined train. They joined train, but when they come back here, I don't know. Their brain is not. They are dozing, of course. You see, they need to advise the president, or let's do this, let's do that. Then good. But I don't know. They are sleeping in office, of course. Like you said the other day, from Nkrumah downwards, they are sleeping, of course. Have a good morning.
Charlie, the guy vex. The guy vex. They have been sleeping since. Unfortunately, we can't take any more calls, but you can share those very strong thoughts with us on a 0500,000 202 0500,000 202. Hopefully, we'll be speaking to the guys at Fourth Estate very, very shortly on allegations of breach of procurement laws in award of road contracts under the government's big push agenda. As and when we get through to the guys at the Fourth Estate, we'll start that conversation on this platform. This one says, Kwame, the traffic on the Tema Dowenya stretch yesterday was complete madness. I mean real madness. I left the office in Accra yesterday at about 5 p.m. but got home at 10:45 p.m. Wow, look. That is 5 hours and 45 minutes. Even with this, some of us had to alight and walk from the ARS junction to Dowenya. Kwame, the contractor definitely needs to be talked to. The stress is just too much. You see, elsewhere, this nonsense would not happen. We cannot put a train that will connect Accra to Tema and put a train that would, you do a change over there and you connect to maybe somewhere at Afienya or something, and then you do that short distance by road. We can't do this simple thing. This is what others are doing in their country. They are thinking. Here, they are just sleeping. Anyway, let me go over to the phone lines and get to speak to William Chalula. He is associate editor at the Fourth Estate, and they have concerns over breach of procurement laws in award of road contracts and the government's big push agenda. William, good morning.
Good morning to you, Kwame.
Great. Hey, William, I need to get back to you.
Oh, baby, I'm quiet.
I know today you roast me, but forgive me.
No comment.
William, let's get into the issues right away. What exactly are these concerns?
Well, it is a concerns, but of course, so we were out to do a report, and when I say we're out, I mean the Fourth Estate, basically to look at the big push road contracts. And so we made a request for only big push contracts awarded in 2025 through to the first part of this year. We got data from the ministry, and the data they gave us, we analyzed the data, and our request was very specific that we wanted road contracts awarded under the Big Push initiative. And when we analyzed their own data, we had 107 contracts, and all these, 112 in all, but we had one out of that, we had 107 of them being awarded under sole source or single source procurement method. And so we put that out, and per our analysis, we indicated that out of the 107 road contracts that we received from them, 81 of these contracts were sole source. So the 81 out of the 107 road contracts that were awarded, per our analysis, were the ones that were sole source. And it is their own document we analyzed. We didn't conjure anything from anywhere. We didn't sit somewhere and produce these figures. Then we were told that we fabricated, we were lying with all manner of things. Then the president comes to request that we make a report to him on our investigation, and we did. But you see, just when the story was published, the minister rushed to Parliament to make a presentation, if you recall, and he contradicted himself in his subsequent presentations after Parliament. Then, as if that was not enough, we get attacks from all over that the fact or whatever we put out was not correct. Now they have come out with a report after the president requested that we should present our report, which we did, and he set up another body to look into it. They've come out with a report, and they are saying that they didn't find anything wrong with whatever that the ministry did. And so that suggests that what we put out was not right. And we are simply saying that it was based on the data they gave us. They haven't challenged the fact that the data they gave us was not correct. And when we put the story out, they pulled down the data on the website of the ministry, what they had published. In fact, they had not published. After we did the story, they published the list of the contract, and they kept changing it. At a point, they pulled it down. And the minister went about changing figures and trying to defend. But if today this is what we have, and it is as though we didn't get it right, we are simply saying that our story is still sitting there. The ministry should come and tell us that this was not the data they gave us. That is all of it. Because now they've come to include a lot of things, talking about 1,441 contracts that they awarded. And out of these number of contracts, only 66 of them were given on single source procurement. But 66, and they are saying the data you gave us, they were 81 single source. Out of the 107, 81 were single source within the period. So we were specific on what we wanted. And we got it, and we analyzed it and put it out. They should tell us that this data they gave us didn't come from them. But if they haven't challenged that, and they come to put out different set of data to make a case and conclude that they awarded contracts, 1,141 contracts, and out of this number, only 66 of them were sole source. That is not true.
What would be the basis for you to say that is not true?
No, but we are saying that per the period we requested the data, which we were given, and per what they have put out, we are saying that within our period that we made a request for, and the data they gave us, and what they have put out today, it doesn't match. It doesn't. So are they challenging what they gave us, which is their own data, or they are challenging our analysis of their data and defending what they have put out now? They should tell us. Until they are able to do that, then whatever they have put out is not true.
The bit with
they haven't challenged what we have analyzed. And if they want to challenge, it is their own data. It is their own data. We have the documents, all that they provided us. Everything is still available. We have no business producing fake data to analyze. If we had ill intention, we wouldn't have in the first place we wouldn't have requested the data we did, which we got and we analyzed. So that's why I'm saying that until they are able to say that the data they gave us was either wrong, they got it wrong in the first place, or the data they gave us was not accurate, or the data they gave us, we misanalyzed it, and that is how we got it wrong. Then they will have a justification to draw a conclusion on what we did. Until then, for us, whatever they are putting, you go and include even potholes and all of that. We didn't talk about any other contract except big push. We were very categorical, and our request is still available. Can be made public. We can push it out there. We were very particular about what we wanted, and you gave us your own data. Today, you are running away from the data you gave us. To come out, this is a shameful outcome.
Do you have any reason to question why at some points, with respect to the earlier investigation you did, the figures kept changing on the website of the ministry to a point where it was even pulled down?
We can only believe that they knew they knew that we had the facts, which facts emanated from the data they gave us. And so when they put out information that was contradicting the information they gave us, they knew they were going to be caught. Now, when the minister went before Parliament, he said that the contract that they did, which were was 44%. And let me just read. If you go to his speech, because you are talking about, I just decided to check it. So he said, Mr. Speaker, and with your permission, it is important to note that only 44% of all the major contracts, including big push contracts awarded by the ministry and the President Mahama, were procured through sole source. Now, when you come to what Felix did yesterday, he said 47%. So you see the shifting of the goalposts. The minister goes to Parliament, he says 44. Yesterday we were told 47. Who knows what next they will say? So why would they continue to give different or varied information to the general public on a simple matter like this that has to do with figures that can be quantitatively verified? Why?
Do you have a reason to believe that some figures are being doctored or some information is not being put out rightly?
I mean, I would not want to conclude that way, but it is for the public to judge. Our work is not to be conclusive. We put out the information and make the public the judges of whatever it is. And again, we are saying that the story, apart from putting that out in terms of the data that we had, we were also questioning the moral aptness of the government and its key officials, while including the president himself, while in opposition, the kind of things they said about single source procurement method and what they are doing now. So the story was mainly centered on this. One, to check the value for money, and then also to look at what they said while in opposition and what they were not doing. Basically, that was why we started. So to draw a conclusion on whether they are adopting the figure, we leave that to the public. If I am saying that we requested data on only big push road contracts and you gave us, and out of the 107, we analyzed. And out of that, in fact, when we analyzed, we had 81, and we put that out. You come today and say that they were only 66. I mean, you are not telling us that what we put out is wrong, but you are saying it's 66. So the data you gave us, how did you come by the 81 that we got from your data? Now, again, I say, when the minister went to Parliament, he said 44% contracts were given on single source. Yesterday, Felix said 47. Who is telling Ghanaians the truth? And that's why I'm saying
maybe the figures have changed.
After, whether they are adopting they are faking the figures or whatever, but we leave that to the public to judge.
When you hear His Excellency the President say that a lot more should be done for us to get value for money and setting up a value for money office to deal with some of these conversations around sole sourcing, are you okay with that?
It's one thing to say it, and it is good to say it, and it is good. It is coming from the president, and he has been very consistent on this. But I think, Kwame, one thing is for a leader to say something, and then the appointees doing it right. And so the president cannot have his eye everywhere. That is a fact. And you don't be surprised that at the end of the day, he appoints people to do things. They can have their own way of doing it and still coming to justify and defend whatever they have done. Now, so the president saying it is one thing, his appointees getting it done and getting it done well. And what the president is asking for them to do is another thing. If you see the conclusion that they made, it reflects some of the things that we said in our report. Value for money, just as you have mentioned, and they are talking about legislative reform. And the president said it in his SONA this year about value for money, and that was exactly what recently you saw the minister going around with bloggers and all over getting angry with contractors, saying that over how many thousands of contractors apply for jobs and they pick those they gave it to with the assumption that they could do and they were failing. So they would take the jobs from them and give it to those other people. So this good number of contractors were there, and you chose sole sourcing with the reason you've given, emergency and all of that. And today you are going around saying that they are not delivering, and you are threatening to take the jobs from them. And one of them, they have even done so. And we are asking if this is the justification and also value for money, and you think that you can explain it this way and keep changing the figures and telling Ghanaians. And interestingly, of course, you will have those who will defend, and so they are defending. But we are simply saying that our interest is to the public. It is in the interest of the public. And we are saying that the figures, the data they give us, then based on our analysis on the figures they give us, what they have concluded and put out is not correct.
What would you say to those who argue that, ultimately these roads have to be done, and because they have to be done, if the government at this particular point is looking at an option of sole sourcing to get this literally fast-tracked, maybe the most important thing is to get the benefits of the road and not necessarily paperwork stuff?
Yes, Kwame, we've heard that, and even we've had very important people level-headed, questioning the motive of our work. And I've already explained that. We're looking at value for money and then also the moral uprightness of our leaders. Questioning that. Because they say one thing whilst in opposition, they get into power and they do the opposite. Now, the rules will have to be fixed. No doubt about it. And they must be fixed. And somebody must fix them. But Kwame, assuming that the console you are operating with this morning is having a problem and you must procure the console, must you procure the console because it is having a problem by any means that will not give value or by any means that will question something that you have said? So, for example, if you had said that you will not procure this any equipment for the company based on sole source, or you have to justify why you do it. Now you give it on sole source with a justification you have. But at the end of the day, even the justification you give is not justifying enough. Why is Agbeja going around attacking contractors? So if you said that they were having all the capacities that you claim they had, and you gave it to them, why are you going around questioning them and taking contracts, threatening to take contracts away from them because they are not delivering? Those reactions he did, it was because of our report. It was because of our report that he got challenged and he had to do those things, going around getting cameras on himself and trying to make a case. And we are saying that the roads must be done. No doubt about it. Our roads are so terrible, they must be done. But we should also do them using appropriate channels or means by which we can get them done. And we are saying that, look, you cannot tell us that 81 contracts, all of them, were so terrible. Since when? Some of these rules were there for how many years now? Only today they have become a threat. Fix them. But we are saying that we should not also say because we have to fix the rules, then we should shortchange the Ghanaian taxpayer. Things must be done right, and we should get them fixed. And now they themselves are concluding that value for money is important, and tightening the procurement system is important. Now, if we agree with all of this, are we saying that moving forward, when we tighten this and get things done right, we are not going to deliver emergency services to the people when the need be? And there is a law that talk about that stipulates or indicates what you should procure under single source and all of that. And they are telling us that all these contracts pass for that. But that aside, we are saying that why do they keep changing, and must they continue to change the figures?
Do you suspect some corruption there?
Say again.
Do you suspect some corruption there?
In our report, we never impugn corruption. We were just questioning the moral uprightness of saying one thing and then doing another. But of course, the issues of inflated contracts that we've had conversation and all of that we never said contracts were inflated. Yes, we never said it because that was not our focus. But we are saying that whether there's corruption or there's no corruption, people would do things wrongly for a purpose. Whatever the purpose is left to the government and its appointees to tell why they chose the path they chose and why they are putting out different figures. And I just told you, you move from 44 to 47. When Abuja was in power, he didn't even talk about the figures. He was talking about percentage. Come and tell us the figures well. Today they are giving us different percentage and saying 66. Why? So they will be able to tell whether there's corruption or not.
Let me ask you a final question and we draw curtains on this one. I mean, the one major issue that I recall came up in the earlier report had to do with the quality of some of these contractors and their works and whether they were qualified enough to even have an opportunity to do these routes. In your follow-up investigations that you have done, does it appear that we have the right people fixing our routes?
I think we questioned two companies that one had on its SNIT certificate. And I've seen in their report increasing it to 20 and all of that. And I'm saying that the contract document is here. Kwame, we have the contract. I'm in the office. The contract document is here. It is there. It is in there. It is in the company. It is in the contract document that their SNIT document indicates that one of the contractors had 1 workers, another had 4. We didn't put the document there. The ministry gave it to us. So if today you have increased the number to 20, what is the interest? It's about capacity. And again, after our report, you realize that when the minister went around, if you watch one of his videos, he says that some of the contractors have complained that they don't have the human resource capacity to do the volume of work they have. And so the ministry was going to take it upon itself to employ or recruit the right caliber of workforce and then train them and deploy them to these contractors to work. It takes us back to the point we made that if you talk about capacity and you say you are sourcing a contract to a contractor, which contractor you claim has the capacity, but in the submission of their contract document to you, they've only indicated that they have 4 workers. 4 workers. Another says 1. And that contractor qualified to do so source. And you come today and you have inflated that same number. And you are telling us that you now want to recruit and give to them. Does it not question or does that not answer our question of capacity that we raised? Now you have given the contract to them. The state is now after going, after you are going to pay these contractors for the work they are doing. But now you have to recruit people, train them, and deploy them to go and help these contractors work. Analyze this and ask yourself, what does it mean? If they were having capacity, you would not be thinking about going to recruit people and deploy them to the same contractors you have given them job to do. And now it is state money they are going to use to do that. So when we question some of these things, people say that you have some interest. The interest is in our interest is the interest of the public. Nothing else. And if all these issues don't bother anyone, and the government itself is defending it, it's fine. We live to see. That's after our report, like I said. You saw the minister. He was all over the place. All over the place. All over the place. And I'm saying that capacity, and because giving respect to the president, because he had said that we should bring we had lined up series of reports we were going to do. But when he requested that we should submit a report to him, we expected that we will wait for him to do whatever. That was why we did a report and submitted it to the presidency, expecting that after their work, we will see what findings they will come out with. And this is what we have. So because we had already presented a report to him, even some of the things we were going to do as follow-up stories, we held on to it and made them to reflect in the report that we submitted to the president. So after the initial publications, we held on and submitted the report to the president.
Okay. Well, William, I can assure you that this is not the end of this conversation. We'll definitely be following through, and then we'll also be sharing our perspectives on this matter with our public. Thank you so much for making time to speak to us.
Thank you, Kwame, and I'll be expecting your call.
Sure, I'll do so. That's our William Jalula, who is associate editor for the Fourth Estate newspaper. I've got loads of messages. I'm going to be reading them very, 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 very shortly. But let me go for this a quick break. When I return, my guests are already seated here, and we'll start the discussing this morning. Then we will be taking those conversations from there. Regional Communications Director for the NPP. Alhaji, salam alaikum. If you can get closer to the microphone.
Salam wa rahmatullah.
Great. And I also do have my brother Thomas I in the studio. He speaks for the NDC. Tom, good morning.
Brother, good morning. How are you doing?
So. We are managing.
You're managing?
Yeah, we're managing.
You're managing what? I see you're managing what?
Oh, small.
I don't know. Right now, it is moving towards big. Because first we had inflation of around 54, isn't it?
Oh, Thomas.
No, I'm asking, isn't
Thomas.
it? But those times you were managing hard.
Thomas, when
Isn't
we
it?
talk about what was handed over to you.
What was handed over to you?
The figure
They left it for you at
like-
23.1.
What?
They left it for you at 23.1.
Those times, how
Now
were
I'm
you
only
managing?
mentioning the figure he
Yeah,
said.
okay.
They
Those
left
times,
it.
how were you managing?
So
So soon now.
Buga,
But now
buga,
it's
sir.
around 3%, isn't it? Isn't it? So the management 3.4%. Let's take
So
it
we are still
4%.
managing.
And yet
Yeah.
So the
prices are still
the
skyrocketing.
management has improved, isn't it? What's the exchange rate now?
I'm not a rich man like that, so I think
Oh,
dollar
why?
once in a
Why?
long
Are you
time.
scared to be rich?
When he asks,
No,
of
are
them-
you scared to be
when
rich?
he
Because I
asks-
can't give the exact figure.
Okay, so
the
you
last
give a
time I
range.
did it was I
11, 12 there.
11.65 thereabouts.
Okay, so let's take it 12.
when he
So
asks
when you
of-
were leaving, what was the exchange rate?
when he asks of the exchange rate,
They started asking their own questions
you
already.
ask him
So
Bank
you,
of Ghana rates or Abochi's.
So which of
rates.
them?
I like to
Which
get
of
close to
them?
the microphone.
Yes, so I'm saying
of
that
them?
when he asks of the rates under this dispensation, you need to ask whether Bank of Ghana rates or Abochi's rates.
Alaji, how much is Abochi's rate?
Abochi's rate, you cannot get it anything less than 12 Ghana cedis
Okay.
Good.
per dollar.
Good.
You understand?
Okay.
Good.
Yeah. So, if, for instance, if I give him money today to get me the Bank ofGhana rate, he cannot get me any single dollar.
Okay, I
Because he
haven't
has to
tried
go
that.
to
So
Abochi.
until I
And
try that,
Abochi
yeah.
has his,
I accept that.
Abochi has
I like
dollar.
it.
price.
I like
he has the dollar and he has his price. You
Okay.
either buy it
We are not
or
discussing
you check
inflation
out.
issues. Thomas just found a way to slip that into the conversation.
But you know,
Yeah.
whatever we do, we cannot run away from bread and butter issue.
Of course.
Because that's the reason why we are all here.
Of course.
That's the reason why you dressed well. You are looking fresh. That's the reason why you are here. So let's give thanks.
Why
let's
this pressure
give
on me
thanks
this
to
morning?
God for
One
giving
small
us
comment
a
I
savior.
made.
For giving us a savior, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Whatever way you want to choose it, whether Abochi or BOG rates, in either ways, it is better now.
Well,
it's better now.
I'll leave that to Ghanaians to decide. If things are better, we can all experience
it.
it.
Depends on
Yeah.
who you are talking to. The average man may not see the figures. But there was a time
I like to get closer to the mic,
from
yeah.
2017 to 2020. You understand? The macro environment was looking very good. You were telling us you don't eat figures. Have we started eating figures today? You understand?
That's what the two of you say to each
let
other,
us
yeah.
be consistent. You understand? On matters like this, when MPP was showcasing, I mean,
they have arrested the dollar.
Inflation was low, interest rate was low. I mean, all the microeconomic indices were low. You were out there telling people that people don't eat inflation figures. They don't eat interest rate. They don't eat dollar rate. You understand? But today, you are telling us that we should, I mean, everything is rosy because inflation is single digit. Abochi, like the dollar is around, what figure did you give?
You just gave Abochi.
No, I gave
12
Abochi,
cedis,
but
as 12
what is the
cedis.
Bank of Ghana rate
It's
today?
11.6.
11.6, you understand? So, but you know, at some point it was 10.
Yes.
So what has happened?
It's still better than what we saw.
No, I'm just telling you.
Let me move to my issues. You let me move to my issues. Let me move to our
the
issues.
general thing is that
Before you
Ghanaians
introduce new topics.
are seeing an improved economy. Nobody would have.
Well, it depends on who you speak to.
Nobody.
That's what I'm saying.
No matter,
Because
no matter
people
your
still
politics.
complain
I
about.
cannot speak for
I don't
everybody.
do
I mean,
politics.
prices
Look,
are still
I don't
rising.
do politics. Do you
You
know the
understand?
reason why I don't do politics?
Tell me.
It's a certain issue. Because when I go to the supermarket, nobody asks me of my political color, of my
We all pay
political
the same prices.
affiliation.
Yeah.
We all pay the same prices. I hope you understand. So first, if I used to exchange dollar rate was around 15 to 16 cedis. And now
Is that what was
same
handed over to
$1 That same one.
Is that what was handed over to you?
At 4 cities.
Okay.
You know, you
Let
took
me
a dollar rate at
get into my issues.
Talk about what was handed over to you.
Let me get into my issues, and I would appreciate that. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So let's get into our issues. Let's get into our issues before we add more topics. So let's get into our issues. Tom. Someday we'll have that conversation. Thank you very much. So let's move into our issue, and we want to start. Yeah, maybe when you get to meet Alhaji again, we'll look at the figures then, and then we'll look at the figures now. Tommy. Let's move on. Let's start with the conversations on the big push within the context of the questions that have been raised by the Fourth Estate on soul sourcing. I remember very well, and I'm sure both of you were listening to the interview when these issues first came up. And if you like, communicators' responses, the minister himself spoke to this. There were a number of government officials on this platform who spoke to these issues as well. This is one thing that has been criticized over the years. If we say we are looking at projects because they are urgent, they need a certain level of attention, it still does not mean that we don't do things the right way. If you've worked in a corporate environment before, even if you buy a pin, chances are that you are going to ask to go to the market and bring at least 3 pro forma invoices. And then depending on the way your organization works, it will be looked at. It doesn't necessarily mean that they are going to go for the cheapest. It doesn't necessarily mean. But they will look at what every single individual organization has to offer. So they could still end up going for the company with the highest figure, but they would offer something better. And that's why the company is going in for that. So it's not just a case of, you bring 3 pro forma invoices and then we go for the cheapest. It doesn't work that way. At least in certain organizations that I work, that's what I saw. But when we see a situation where even for things that ideally, within the context of the conversation we're having, we could have maybe taken our time, done due diligence, and offered the right contracts to the right people, maybe to a large extent we would have benefited. And this is why I say so. A contract is given to Tom in 2025. Tom is expected to execute the contract, let's say, within 2 weeks. After 11 days, I go to the contract, and what he has done is not even up to, let's say, 20%. Then I, who gave him the contract, I am now complaining. The question I'll be asking is, what kind of due diligence did you do before you gave Tom the contract? Because if you did the right due diligence based on their experience, you won't go and see only 20% of the work done after 11 days. You'd have gone to see 80%. So why do you then turn around to then come and tell us that these guys are not performing? And in fact, he was on TV to the extent that he was telling us that I would even revoke your contract for not performing. I'm hearing he's revoked one organization. Yeah. But there were a number that we did see. Can we avoid all of these soul sourcing conversations and ensure that we go through a process where the right organizations are getting jobs to deliver and give us value for money? Alhaji, let me start with you.
Okay, thank you very much. And thanks get close to the once mic. Again yes. For the opportunity. I think what we are discussing, I keep hearing people talking about single sourcing and sole sourcing. I mean, people use it interchangeable, but for my reading of it, it has to do with single sourcing. It is a situation where, it's a kind of procurement strategy where you kind of give like contract to an organization. You choose to give it to one organization, even though there are other organizations, equally qualified organizations, but you decide to select one. That is single sourcing.
And there are reasons for that.
Yes. And sole sourcing is also a situation where, you are compelled to deal, for instance, with a particular organization, buy a product or service from an organization based on maybe the fact that they are the only ones in the market or they have a patent for that kind of product. Therefore, you cannot get it any other place. But what I see has happened has to do with single sourcing. And for me, it's kind of sad for me as a Ghanaian.
Why?
Because, for instance, back in opposition, NDC condemned these practices. You understand? They indicated, I mean, the then flag bearer, JM himself, condemned it and said that if they get the opportunity, they are going to kind of reduce that. Semi Genfi said that it's an avenue for people to inflate contracts and give to, their people. You understand? A lot of NDC people, and even in their manifesto, they mentioned that it will be a thing of the past. You understand? Now we are being told that by the fourth estate, that when they analyze about 107 of the contracts, the big push contracts, they realize that about 81%, about 76%, they analyze, I think, 107 in 2025 and then 81 in 2026. And they realized that about 76% of the contracts were given out on single source, or in the, I mean, if you look at what he was referring to sole sourcing, but single sourcing and all of these things. And you ask yourself, because it's getting to a point in time in our politics that the average Ghanaian may not take the politicians serious. You understand? Because when you say or you condemn actions in opposition and you are given the opportunity within 1 year, you go to do, I mean, things like this. You understand? About 76% of contracts that you have awarded, they just sample it and they realize about 76 were done through sole sourcing, not through competitive tendering. And I overheard in your intro, you were asking. It is important. It doesn't matter. That is why we are always saying that continuity is important in as far as the development of this country is concerned. It doesn't matter if an MPP government starts something, you understand, and they are unable to complete it. It is for the state. You understand? It's not for that political party. So if you come, you have to continue with that project. And this situation where, for instance, government come in and they decide that, well, this one is for the SWAL administration, therefore we are not going to kind of pursue it, we are not going to continue it, we want to start something on our own. And after that, maybe it will stand in our name. It's not healthy for the development of this country. And it's about time, I mean, ordinary Ghanaians begin to speak to government on some of these matters. When I was driving in, you were kind of looking at it and you mentioned this Agenda 111 hospital, and that 400 million has been spent on the hospitals. No, I mean, none has been completed or something. And I felt that, like, we cannot continue like that. You understand? Agenda 111 government, Agenda 111 hospitals were established because when COVID happened, we realized that we didn't have adequate infrastructure to deal with a pandemic like that. So a bold leader decided that let's confront this. And I believe he knew that he couldn't have completed all 111 before leaving office.
You said you were going to do it in 18 months, if I recall, when you
Yes.
started with 88 before
Yes.
you moved on to 111 or so.
Yes.
And within the time that the announcement was made and the 18
Yeah.
months, you were still going to be in office.
What I'm trying to say is that, you see, maybe you may have to look at contract management. You give your timelines. There are certain impediments. There are certain natural occurrences.
So you factor all
You
that
understand?
in the contract? Or?
Yes, but that is the agenda of the government. You understand? But you have awarded it to individuals. You understand? They have issues. Some issues are very, very legitimate. You understand? And some, maybe it could be issues of weather and, I mean, rain and all those things. You are not able, the contractor is not able to deliver on time. You understand? So those things are allowed. But the most important thing is that it was started. And at the time that MPP left office, they had, some were completed and others were at various stages of completion. You understand? It's just like when President Akufo-Addo came into office in 2017, there was this community-day senior high schools. If I tell you that President Akufo-Addo completed more than President Mahama of the E-blocks, will you believe that? But check it. He completed more than President Mahama. You understand? That is what we are looking at. I mean, you cannot say that because these people started this thing, I have come in, I'm not going to continue with it because if I do
This
it,
is
it will
data that
stand
can
in
be
the
easily
name
verified,
of.
so
You understand? So that is what I'm saying. My point is that let us encourage politicians to continue legacy or inherited projects. You understand? When you inherit, you come into government, you kind of inherit assets and
Tie that
liabilities.
with a sole sourcing link for me.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. For me, the sole sourcing, I've already indicated that it is kind of unacceptable to condemn that practice, even though, I mean, there are circumstances under the procurement law that you can use single source or sole sourcing to execute a project or to procure services.
The conditions
you
for
understand?
which a contract will be sole sourced are clear.
But I'm just
PPA Act,
yes.
Act 2003. The conditions are very clear. There are about 7 of them. So let me just quickly read through all of that. A, where goods, works, or services are only available from a particular supplier or contractor, or if a particular supplier or contractor has exclusive rights in respect of the goods, works, or services, and no reasonable alternative or substitute exists. B, when there is an urgent need for the goods, works, or services, and engaging in tender proceedings or any other method of procurement is impractical due to unforeseeable circumstances, giving rise to the agency, which is not the result of dilatory conduct on the part of the procurement entity. C, where owing to a catastrophic event, there is an urgent need for the good works, for the goods, works, or technical services, making it impractical to use other methods of procurement because of the time involved in the use of these methods. D, where a procurement entity which has procured goods, equipment, technology, or services from a supplier or contractor determines that 1, additional supplies have to be made, 2, there is a need for compatibility with existing goods, and 3, the limited size of the proposed procurements in relation to the original procurements provides justification. E, where the procurement entity seeks to enter into a contract with a supplier or contractor for research, experiments, study, or developments. F, where the procurement entity applies this act for procurements that concerns national security and determines that single source procurements is the most appropriate method of procurements. And then G, a procurement entity may engage in single source procurements with the approval of the board after public notice and time for comments, where procurement from a particular supplier or contractor is necessary in order to promote a policy specified in Section 9, and procurement from another supplier or contractor cannot promote that particular policy. And there a bit here and there that you can find concerning this. So essentially, when we have these kind of situations, then you offer. Here we want to be specific about routes. We can extend the conversation into other things, because I don't think it's only about routes where contracts are sole sourced. I'm sure there are so many areas of the economy where a bit of sole sourcing will be done. The focus that has led to this conversation was to do with the work of the Fourth Estate and the issues that they raised. We want to construct routes. We are in a hurry. We want to get these done. But if you decide to sole source, in my basic understanding, you've made a decision to give it to Thomas's company. I'm not saying Thomas has a job, just for clarity, before your friends start queuing up for their share of the money. But you've given a job to Thomas because you know that he has the capacity. So if after a very short time you go there and Thomas is not delivering, then someone would argue that did you do any proper due diligence before you gave the job to Thomas's company? And I guess this is the crux of the matter. Because if it's about the job done, yes, we would argue about paperwork. But if it's about the job done and people get to see, yes, it was so sourced, but it's there for all of us to see. Thomas' company has done an absolutely brilliant job. I'm sure we'll still find a way to move on, although the paperwork would still matter. Or Alaji?
Yeah. So just like I was saying, I mean, before we get to that, I mean, principles are also very, very important in politics. Principles and consistency. Like, if you say that, if you condemn it, and then you come into government, and you are doing more than the previous administration, I mean, wouldn't it be nice that, I mean, the president kind of explained to Ghanaians what necessitated that? Because he condemned it, some of his officers who are now in government also condemn it. Now, coming back to your question, I mean, if you look at the work of the Fourth Estate, we are told that in some cases, some of the contractors were just like a day old, like the companies were just a day old. In some cases, the paperwork was not well done. You understand? Now, you ask yourself, Ghanaian road contractors have been doing road construction even before independence. You understand? There are a lot of road contractors who are capable of doing that. Why don't you open it up so that the best will be selected to execute? In a hurry. Yes, it doesn't take away anything. More especially when in opposition, you didn't see the need for the previous government to do that. You condemn that action. You understand? Every government, when executing things on this single source, will tell you that they are in hurry. They are in hurry to complete. And somebody jokingly told me yesterday that maybe they thought they could kind of complete it before the 4 years, because the 4 years is not guaranteed. And given what they have done regards to Agenda 111 and other projects that the Akufo-Addo administration handed over to them, maybe they didn't want their contractors or those contracts to suffer the same fate. Even with that, I believe that it doesn't really matter. You can still do the right thing and get the right results. You understand? You don't need to...
Alaji, land for me.
Yeah, you don't need to employ some of these things, because giving it to foot soldiers or party activists or party financiers, and in the end, a minister goes around threatening them that if you don't do the... Yes, they are party activists. And I was told
I'm not aware of any of these guys.
Yes, most
people.
of them.
I don't know.
Most of them.
I don't know.
Yes. So,
unless you have information.
But why have they selected them the way they have selected them? Why didn't they open it up for every Ghanaian who is qualified to contest?
That these are party food soldiers.
You understand? And well, that is the news in town. That's what many people are saying. Maybe our brother here also has one. After here, you tell us.
We don't know about that. So maybe that's a good time to get Thomas into the conversation. I mean, nobody at this point is accusing you of corruption or anything like that. But we are asking genuine questions, and I'm sure these are fair. You want to construct a road. We are very happy with the roads. That's not in doubt. If you ask me to bring in a bid, or Thomas's company, or Alaji's company, like, you know, go spoil anything, or
good.
Like, you know, go spoil anything.
Good morning to you once again, to my brother Alaji.
It's just Faisal. The name is Faisal.
Okay. Yes. And then to...
I think I prefer that.
Okay. you like the Faisal, okay.
Yes. Okay. That's my given name.
Good. To my honorable MP, Radna Obi, who is doing very well, and the MC, and then the presiding member, which is Ishmael Kwao. They are doing very, very well.
That's Ablekuma North.
Ablekuma North constituency. I think last month the MP went to fix some traffic lights in the constituency. One of them is the Awoshi, the one at Awoshi, the main Awoshi Banyard, and then she's doing very well. And then I think this very Sunday, there is a flooding issue. If you know the place very well, coming from Mala Market to Kaneshi around the Dakuma Junction, there is a serious issue there.
Where the techno companies.
Yes, you know that place well. They fixed it last month. I think the thing has come again, so they will desilt it. But they are doing some desilting, serious desilting around the Doko market. So they are doing very well. My regards to them this morning. That's the MC Kalamu Musa, the presiding member Ishmael Kwao, popularly known as Trouble, and then the MP Irabna Orbin. My regards to them this morning. My brother, when we are talking about sole sourcing, actually, sole sourcing is in our laws, and our laws agrees on that, on specific issues and directions.
That's what I read.
That's what you read, yes. And our listeners appreciate that, so that at least they will get understanding of what we are discussing. But you see, Fourth Estate, to me, they came out with a false information.
What was false about the information?
They should have rather requested more information.
I asked you. They asked for a specific request.
What they request,
give me details of.
Good. Because as
big
of now,
push contracts. That's all they asked for.
As of now, Fourth Estate said 107 of contract awarded. Big push contract awarded.
Information given to them by the ministry.
Between 2025 to 2026. And 81 of the 107 contracts were sole sourced. That's what they said.
Based on the information that was given to them.
That's what they are telling us, isn't it? Which is not true. I'm coming.
Are you aware of the information that was given to them by the ministry?
I'm aware.
By the ministry.
Let me finish my point. Yes. Which is not true. Now, from 2025 to 2026, the total number of contracts awarded was 1,441.
Is it all under big push?
No.
Yes.
That's
the difference.
Let me finish. When I finish my point, you understand. When you are talking about big push only, big push only contracts were 140. Big push contracts were 140. And out of the 140, only 66 of them were sole sourced. And even out of the 66 of those contracts, which were sole sourced, 23 of those contracts were inherited sole source contracts. They were inherited sole source contract. So there is no way you will tell me that we are doing sole sourcing more than the previous government. What we promised is what we are delivering on. We promised to the good people of Ghana that we are going to reduce any sole sourcing done. Isn't it?
So based on the figures you give, can we do some maths?
I'm coming. We will do some maths. We will do typical maths. I'm coming. 2, we promise the good people of Ghana that when we come to power, we will make sure that contracts that were awarded by the previous administration, if everything falls in line, we will what? Continue it. And that's what we are doing. As I speak to you right now, my brother made mention of Agenda 111, which not even single one of Agenda 111 project is in operation. Not even single one. He should point out one single Agenda 111 project that is in operational today.
We know none is operational.
None is in operational today. No, not a single one. But His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, during his first budget reading, said he would dedicate about 100 million Ghana cedis for the facilitation of Agenda 111 project to complete 10 of them.
Now he says 35.
35. So you see, so when we are talking about projects that must be continued by the current administration, which was started in the previous administration, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and the NDC has shown commitment. And the evidence is clearly everywhere. Anyone can testify what I'm talking about. So my brother, so we have a total contract of 1,000. You said we should do calculation.
Yes.
1,441. That's the total, including the big push, every contract from 2025 to 2026. Now, out of this contract, about 1,301 were competitive tendering. That makes it about 90.23% competitive tendering. And you see, when you take 100% of the 1,441 and 90.38% is true competitive tendering, I I think the government has done well. Isn't it? The government has done well. As he promised he will reduce sole sourcing, he has done well by reducing sole sourcing. Look, as I said, 140 of the big push projects were executed under this administration. Now, out of the 140 of the big push project, not 107 as the, what do you call it, fourth estate claimed. It was 140, not 107.
Can I come in now?
Yes, so you can come in now.
Okay, so fourth estate said, I asked you for documentation. They didn't say they had the documentation. No, they asked the ministry for the documentation. The ministry provides X number. You could have decided to provide all the 140. For whatever reason, I don't know why they did not. I don't speak for the ministry, so I don't know why they did not. They say, based on the information you have given me, I see that this number, the information you gave me, not the information I am making up, the information you have given me. So how do you come back to tell me that I am lying?
Unless they bring out the information government gave them, and say, so that we can all testify that what they are saying is true. Seriously, I doubt them on this particular issue. I doubt Fourth Estate, because there is no way under this administration His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is going to source about 81 contracts out of 107. There is no way. And the evidence
Thomas, I'm sure you are aware that the ministry's website is a public.
Yes, I'm coming. Let me land.
Why did they keep changing the figures that they put there?
Nobody has changed the figures.
I saw it almost every day. The figures were changing all the time.
Look, my point is 140 big push projects. And out of the 140 big push projects, 66 of the 140 projects were sole source,
which almost 50%.
Which makes, let's say, 47.14%.
Yeah.
47.14%. And out of the 47.14, you can't tell me 47.14%, 100% of that, 140 is high. It's on the higher side. No, it's even.
Why is it not high?
Even less than
almost 50%.
Look, almost. That's what I'm saying. When you pick that 66, minus the 23 inherited projects that were sole source, all the 66 weren't sole source under this administration. I hope you understand my point.
I'm following.
23 of those 66 projects that were sole source under the previous administration. Well, they were sole source under the previous administration and not the current administration. Look, and even when you calculate it with the total number of contracts, which is the 1,441 contracts given under this administration, contracts awarded under this administration, when you calculate with the number of sole source, when you take even the 66%, including the previous administration's 23 sole source contracts, which makes 66%, and you calculate in percentage to the 1,441 of the total, contracts awarded, is around 4.58% sole sourced. 4.58%. So look, whatever His Excellency John Dramani Mahama promised, he is delivering on his promise. He promised us that he was going to protect the public purse, not the one we saw. First, he said he was going to run a lean government, and hasn't he done that? He even promised 60 ministers, isn't it? And now we have our 58. He's protecting the public purse, isn't it? His Excellency John Dramani Mahama promised that, even disabled brothers and sisters could go through the university from level 100 to whatever level they were going, depending on their courses.
Now you are introducing new
topics. I'm not that I'm introducing new topics. My point is, whatever, I wrote it here when my brother said His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and the NDC promised to reduce sole sourcing. And my point is that whatever His Excellency John Dramani Mahama promised, he has delivered on his promise.
Can we introduce another layer? Because under your administration,
not even one promise has been rejected.
Okay, so we can go into the promises conversation, but that one layer on value for money, because that has also come up in line with us. Because you are from, the ruling governments. In-house, we have been having conversations about most of these ministries having a monitoring and evaluation unit. I'm sure you are very much aware of that. Can you help us appreciate how the value for money office, because from what I gather, it looks like it's already started working.
Yeah,
can I say that?
Yes,
it's already started working.
You can say that.
So, perchance, are you aware if they've come across any documentation that?
No, they are still working.
Yeah, because it was supposed to start from January 2027.
Yes.
If I recall the comments of the Minister of Finance.
2027.
Yes, January 2027.
So they are still working.
Yeah.
All these things. It shouldn't be. It's a nice policy, and it's a policy that is going to protect the public purse. It's a policy that is going to prevent things like I don't want to use a criminal attitude and the criminal gesture of operation of funds of the Agenda 111, where the auditor general just came out. Listen, said the audit of Agenda 111 project also revealed that a total amount of 7.9 million was paid to 35 contractors as advanced mobilization under the program, but these contractors have either failed to mobilize to sites. 7.9 million dollars were given to 35 contractors. Zero work done. This is Auditor General's report. Zero work done. So when we are talking about value for money is supposed to prevent some of these things. You say you are going to, as example you gave, you say you are going to buy 3 pieces of, 3 sheets, costing this. Now, not that the sheet is cheap, so we are going for it, but is it valuable to whatever we are going to use the sheet for? And that's the reason why His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is implementing such an office to make sure, to make sure any industry, any sector, any institution that enters into an agreement, it will bring value for money for this country. My brother also made mention that the minister has set camera on himself and then moving around. It is better.
It's one of those comments. Thomas, don't take it too hard. Don't take it.
No.
You did.
You did.
But it was.
You said why is the minister?
Okay. Even if you didn't say you inferred, but those I just allowed it to slide. Yeah.
You see, because I was writing what I didn't want to interject him, so I was just writing, making comment. You see, if you are my friend and I know you can do the job, and I give you a job, and you are not delivering on the job, you have to go. Your contract has to be cancelled.
Okay, so let's move on to our next topic.
7.9 million USD can be used to construct hospital. Can be used to whatever.
A lot of things.
And my brother was also talking about continuation of government. Hey. The MPP has no principle. They lack principle when it comes to issues of accountability. Do you know Ridge Hospital? Have you been there before? It's just here. The phase 1 was completed under His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Whilst they were shouting and screaming, inflated, whatever. The cost of phase 1 has been inflated. So when they come, they will be building the phase 2. Not even a single block.
Okay, so this one I pass every day.
So you see.
Let's move on. Let's move on. Let's move on. Let's move on. I mean, if you come back, you would also want to come back. So that's why I give everyone a fair opportunity. So that
based on my submission,
it's my time out.
Your time is up, so we need to move on.
Yes, because
I allocate time for every topic. So let's move on.
What I'm saying is
it's because you people started on the banter.
I respond to some
in a minute, because we need to move to our next topic.
Myself.
Yeah.
You can respond.
I could see the struggle in his submission.
Go straight to the point, Alaji. Yeah.
Some of these issues. Right now, the Fourth Estate is demanding that the government should publish the list of contract and the processes. You understand? It's just fair. I mean, things to do with transparency. You understand? And accountability. More especially, your party was founded on the principle of accountability, probity and accountability.
Yes, and
so
we are
when
doing that.
You are asked to publish, to let Ghanaians know
We are doing that.
what went into it, the processes. It's just fair that you do it. You understand?
We are doing that.
And you see, just like Zoe was saying, the figures keep changing. Initially, I heard that 47% were done through competitive tendering. Now we are told 90%. You understand?
No.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. It's a lot of maths. It's a lot of maths.
It's maths.
What we are trying to say is that
I was trying to just.
What I'm trying to say is that coming
sure.
back to the issue of Auditor General and Agenda 111, every contract you give out, you understand, at some point, some contractors may not live up to expectation.
Good.
You understand?
So you support my road minister, Kwame Agyemang.
I'm coming. Let me land. At least you
please land, because we need to move on. Yes.
So, but the point is that nobody is defending anybody. If they have given you mobilization to mobilize and go to site, and you fail to go, certainly you know the law will.
There are consequences to every contract.
But what I'm trying to say is that it's always good to read about Auditor General. But what is the response of those contractors? Have you read any response from the contractors?
What's the response?
So in audit, sometimes when issues
you are given
like
an
this
opportunity to respond. Yes.
Those who are, adverse findings have been made against are given the opportunity. It is within their right to respond, to explain, to come clear. You understand? The auditor may not be privy to all the facts. So if it's not conclusive, if there's an issue like this, it's only fair that you try to listen to the other side.
That's fair. That's fair. So let's move on. Let's move on to our next issue, and let's focus on.
Let me just give me
30 seconds. 30 seconds.
30 seconds. You see, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and the NDC is committed on accountability, probity, and transparency, and that is what we will do. I just read the Auditor General's report that about $7.9 million dollars were given to 35 contractors under Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo's and the MPP's administration, and not even a single contract was anything.
That's fine. Although they have a right to respond,
see,
so we'll wait for their response so that we can move on.
With this sole sourcing issue, when you calculate the entire contract from 2025 to 2026, just about 4.6%.
Okay, can we move on? Because these figures you've already put out. So let's focus on the works of the East. Who manage the space as far as elections are concerned. Someone who said two inconsequential happenings. One deputy choosing to go back to the classroom, another choosing to resign. Ideally, this will not be news elsewhere. But because of how both of you, and here I'm talking of the NPP and NDC, your actions and inactions, comments, leading officials, because of what has been said over the years, unfortunately it's become a subject of conversation. How is someone retiring? You retire, especially you're in public service. But the conversations that have, found its way to the public space is that sadly, these gentlemen were even being pushed already. So at some point they had to jump ship. Let me start with Tom on this one, and we have very little time. So Tom, I'll give you 4 minutes on this one, and then we'll move. Are you pushing them out?
Not, you see, I always tell my people, when the issue of
because your party chairman was sitting here. He said if it were up to him, the AC boss would be gone.
If it were,
and the deputies would be all gone.
If it were what? Up to him.
Yeah, I just said what.
So that's
and it's not up to him.
Yes. You see, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is not interested. I said this when Chairman Abronye's case came, that we are not interested in who goes to jail, who is sacked, who is not sacked, who is there, who is not there. I hope you understand. What we are interested in is that when we give you contracts and you don't deliver, when we give you assignment, when we give you work and you don't deliver, they will sack you. I hope you understand it. That is what we are concerned with. That's what we are interested in. That's the reason why our ministers are performing, and all indices of the economy, you could see clear indication of performance. Look at the health ministry. Look at the roads ministry. Look at communication. All our ministers are performing and doing their best. So it's not about who becomes the electoral commissioner to win the next election. The next election will be won based on performance, isn't it? Based on bread and butter. Look, Ghanaians will come and ask His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, you came to meet the dollar rate at 16 to 17 Ghana cedis per dollar. Or how much will you give it?
Is he going to be?
No, how much? No, I'm coming. How much will you give? Look, so that is that's NDC. That's NDC. Look, Ghanaians will ask His Excellency John Dramani because he is the face of NDC now, whether you like it or not. No,
obviously you know he won't be.
He won't be.
You know he won't be.
So Ghanaians will ask. Now, National Democratic Congress, you brought His Excellency John Dramani Mahama to lead you. Now, you came to meet the exchange rate at 16 to 17, isn't it?
We'll have that conversations ahead of the election.
So my point is that whether Bosman Asari, who is the former, or who was the former, patron for Tescom in Legon, which is another wing of the NPP, has resigned. He didn't say he was sacked. He wasn't sacked. He resigned and then he gave reasons on which he resigned. And
they accuse you of pushing him to
one of the reasons was, we all know Bosman Asari. Bosman Asari who could stand on a platform and say that a ruling party is a threat to our democracy. Do you think anybody can push Bosman Asari out? Nobody can push Bosman Asari out. If probably it doesn't pass through the legal way. Unless it passes through the legal way. That's what I'm telling you. Like, look, the NDC is not interested in who becomes the EC chair or whatever. What the NDC is interested in is economic figures. Let the economic figures speak for itself. If your exchange rate is doing well, if your inflation is doing well, if your employment is doing well, and if your ministers are performing, you need, Jamisa or Bosman Asari to be at the Electoral Commission to win an election? Who appointed Charlotte Osei? It was His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, the NDC administration, NDC 1. But under her administration, didn't we lose election? We lost the election. Isn't it? We lost the election. Now, who appointed Bosman Asari and the EC chairman?
Madam
Chairwoman, Jamesa. And under her administration, what happened? The NPP went into an opposition.
So it doesn't really matter
so
who's there.
It doesn't really matter who becomes the electoral commissioner or whatever. We knew what they did to Charlotte. So that's the reason why they are thinking that what we did, as our generational proverb says, what you sow is what?
What you reap.
What you reap. So that's what they are thinking. But His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is not the kind of man that will intimidate anybody or that will prevent anybody from doing his work.
Okay. Let me get a larger thoughts on this one and then wrap up.
Look, Mr. Tete has retired, isn't it? Shouldn't he go?
That's what I started by saying. Elsewhere, this would not even be news.
There are genius.
But here we politicize everything.
Serious guys like yourself. Can't you perform the functions of the deputy electoral commissioner?
You are in the spirit, I can see.
You can.
You are in the spirit.
So why should he be there even after his retirement?
From here, give me green letter. Let me go there.
I think he is.
I'll let you wrap up on this one for me. I mean, ideally, this is like I said. Like I started by saying. I mean, two individuals. One retires. One is moving on with his life.
My brother ended. I think it is only fair. In the case of Madame Charlotte Osei, there was something like an implosion. You understand? She and her deputies were in the media accusing each other of corruption and procurement breaches. You understand? So definitely, when people petition, prima facie case was established. You understand? So don't say it as if President Akufo-Addo just decided that I'm going to remove Charlotte Osei. You understand? It's important. For us to understand something. Since the coming into government of the second coming of President Mahama, there has been some consistent and persistent attack on some democratic institutions in this country. And it is worrying. You understand? Because this is a democracy we have nurtured for over 3 decades. You understand? And some of these things, I mean, it has never been heard of. You understand? For instance, apart from maybe 1963 when President Nkrumah removed a Chief Justice, up until last year, nothing like that had ever happened in our democratic process. You understand? That is not right. And I keep saying, you see, President Mahama started, I mean, his politics, most of us thought he was a dove, you understand, because you have a lot of hawks in the NDC. But the way he used to carry himself, a lot of people admire him. But under his watch, for something like that to happen, is a big stain on his political image. And I think it's important for us to make it very clear. Bossman Asari's resignation, I mean, a lot of people are divided on it. Some people think that he has been pushed out. You understand?
Why?
Well,
he can't take decisions for himself. He wants to go back to the classroom.
Well,
why should someone have a problem with that?
Let's give time, as they say in Ghana. Let's give time some time. Within the fullness of time, we shall know the exact reason why he has resigned. Whether he has resigned on his own volition or he has been pushed out. Because, you know, before NDC came into power, they had a list of heads of some democratic institutions that they wanted to take out. There was an attempt.
Did you see the list?
Well, a lot of them were talking about it.
But
they were saying that
you can't fall for everything you come across.
Did they petition for the removal of Jean Mensah and her deputies? Did they do that or not?
And they are supposed to be NDC people.
Well, I am trying to explain.
They are Ghanaians.
They are Ghanaians. But I'm saying that even the NDC chairman himself made a statement to that effect.
He was here. He was here.
You understand?
And he has responded to that. That the views of the NDC chairman is not the views of Ghana.
The national chairman of the NDC,
in my own
somebody who sits in cabinet.
So after retirement,
his
the
view
person
doesn't matter.
He has an opinion.
I'm just trying to understand something.
His opinion is not enforced on us.
The national chairman of the National Democratic Congress, his views doesn't matter.
I haven't said so. But his views are not finality. That's the point I want to make.
What I'm saying is that whose views matters. I'm saying that if the national chairman
have Ghanaians
before
elected,
the election,
have we all elected the chairman of the NDC?
Please.
We have elected the president, not the chairman of the NDC.
The national chairman of the party is not just an ordinary member.
We haven't said that either, Alaji.
The man is the chair of the governing party. He sits in cabinet. You and I.
Does he have the power to appoint anyone?
He doesn't have the
Fantastic.
power, but he has the power to influence decisions.
But the buck will not stop with him.
Yes, that one there's no doubt. But for you to try to kind of diminish,
I haven't said so either.
His influence, that one I will not agree.
Alaji, my time is up. Let me take some messages and wrap up. Let me take some messages. Let me take some messages and. Alaji, let me take some messages and wrap up.
I mean, you were kind of engaging me.
No,
I didn't get
it's because of what you say. I gave you more time than him.
No.
I gave you more time than him. Yeah, the time will never be enough for a politician. Alaji, land. Yeah, land. Yeah.
Because you see, for even the former Chief Justice, Madam Sophia Akufu, to resign, and I believe because we are now told that she resigned last year September, and the removal of the former Chief Justice Tokono also happened in September. I'm sure many Ghanaians who are watching, independent of the.
Okay, so now you are drawing another conclusion somewhere.
I believe no institution is safe.
Okay, so
no independent institution is safe under this
she's an elderly person. She's a former CJ. She's chosen to resign. She has not told the whole world why she has done this. And she's a.
But are we not? Are we not entitled to interpret actions?
Oh,
okay. Nothing stops you.
We are entitled to interpret actions.
Okay, so let me read some messages and let me wrap up. Let me read some messages and wrap up. This one says to an opinion. Okay, so that's another conversation. This one says, I think, Alaji, I beg you. I think in as much as we blame the politicians, the citizens should also be blamed. Because if you don't know what is good for you, I wonder how you would ever get to remember. Evans from Joe Louis sent this one. Okay, so Ni from Pong sent me a message. You say, Kwame, the Agenda 111 hospital in Pong is now operational. Okay. Yes. operational. Okay. These are his words. Master, I live there. So this is something we can verify. I mean, it's a hospital. It's not in somebody's wallet. So we can verify this. Master, okay, I live there. Okay, I don't understand what you mean by you live there. This one says the fourth estate is not working in the interest of Ghanaians. Okay, that's your opinion. This one says, Kwame, good morning. This is Seidu at Santo. You say, please, can you get the government to fix the road from Krum to Ashima Road? Okay, I don't know this place, but the MC there, please have a look. Hi, bro. Good morning to you. The politicians have nothing to offer us, the citizens. They benefit a lot more from any development projects of the states. Okay. Good morning, Kwame. I think our politicians work with spare parts dealers. Okay, I don't get this. Kofi and Hachu. I don't get the spare parts connection. Okay, David Senna sent me a message earlier. Okay, I wanted to look out for that. He says, good morning, Kwame and the squad. Did you say lunchbox? Okay, that was way earlier. Okay, Kwame, there's a contractor working on our area roads since 2017 with no end in sight due to lack of competence and capacity. It was only last week that some components of the works have been re-awarded. Okay, let me do this birthday dedication and check out. Happy birthday to Reverend Edward Anani of Flock of Christ Church. Reverend Edward Anani of Flock of Christ Church. This one is coming from Nana PNT of CMG. And your church members, they say they love you so much and wish the abundance blessings of God upon your life. Oh, my time is up and I have to go. But before